honestly, I think if if nobody had mentioned things like stop talking or shut up and take your meds, schizo, or get a job, anything like that, if I hadn't been abused, I probably would have stopped doing this by now. Everybody who likes it doesn't get to talk to me. I'm locked in a bubble of only people who hate me get to talk to me. The people who are protecting me, they're all guilty of a whole bunch of criminal malfeasance. Not that I seriously don't give a shit. I don't know what kind of Fed laws these feds broke. I don't know what they did wrong. I mean, and they're all assholes, of course. That's apparent. And clearly they're used to getting their own way. I don't care about that. I just don't care. I don't even know what it was that I knew that they wanted me to be quiet about. I still don't. Rumor has it that trying to get rid of me was such a difficult endeavor that they told people I were dead and then kept trying to kill me and then figured that I would eventually die and then they would get away with their insurance money. I guess I don't know if they did or not. I don't know how any of this works. I don't understand what any of it. Not a blessed thing. Nobody gives me debriefs. Nobody tells me anything. If it should tell everybody something that I decided to study divination rather than get a job at a newspaper. The whole fucking mess is just a fucking shit show. It's a nightmare of unending proportions. And I really thought it'd be done by now. But no, it's not. So here's another 4 hours of content. Some of it's pretty good, I think. I'm not doing a whole lot of repackaging, but some. There's a good bit where I listen to Richard talk to his whores online. By the way, Richard, you're disgusting. You're vile. You're not. Well, maybe I can't say that you're not impressing anybody because obviously some people are into that kind of thing. Brainwashed women where you boss them around. That must be exciting. And I mean, as impressive as this site is, it's not as though they liked me in the first place. So, and then I guess you could just make women on and off like now. I mean, why? If I was going to complain about anything, it would be complaining about failing to have access to the right kind of chemicals. Not that I'm complaining about that either, but it's just absurd. I remember, excuse me, sorry to yawn, but the thoughts of my content are just so boring. It's just not compelling to me anymore to think about myself. I don't have a story to get out. I don't even know what the story would be. Oh yeah, I'm still alive while these assholes want to kill me. That's about the extent of my excitement. Don't know why I want to be killed. Don't know why they can't have me around. I guess there's something I know that is a problem to a bunch of sprig-headed assholes who like to break the law and get away with it all the time. I think they can't get away with it all the time. Why can't this just be one where they take the L? Oh, well, it has something to do with pride and people who have nothing else to compare their lives to, I guess. I don't fucking know. One interesting point, I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but rather than just stop doing what they told me to do and then leaving it there so they could come steal it, it's always gone. And then I guess if they don't want me to keep doing it, I guess they can just not sell it to me. Thanks, Winkers. It's not like I'm going to run around anywhere else, and it's not like I really care. And it's also not like I'm just going to leave it lying around. Like, what am I going to do with it? Give it to somebody? Here you go. I got spare cups of sugar. No, I think that would be pretty pretty irresponsible. So rather than buy a bunch of drugs, I let somebody sell me 2 pizzas and 24 bottles of water for $180. Didn't even bring cigarettes. What a... Still, I imagine they thought they were doing a good job. They were trying to convince me of something, since obviously I just need to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, the truth is that what I'm doing is designed to make several people miserable. I don't know exactly who, but if you wanted me to change my behavior, you could start by not lying to me. You can start by not being so willing to take my money. You can start by telling the truth about what you've been doing. You can start, humbling yourself before God and stop being a bunch of demonically possessed, spurglorded assholes. And I don't think any of you are likely to do that. And you don't have to. But live and let live. You want to keep on doing what you're doing? It's fine. I'm not going to do a damn thing about it. I don't know who I would complain to about it. And once again, I don't know what it is that I'm not supposed to talk about. So, in an abundance of caution and a desire to, I can't lie too much here. I really just want all these people to just be really upset that I'm putting up 4 hours of content. Such a dumb word. 4 hours of recordings of me blabbing on about it, what a bunch of douchebags you are, that you don't want me to keep talking about. I'm going to do that anyway. And then tomorrow I'll put out some more, and then tomorrow I'll put out some more, and then, I don't know. I can't really see that far ahead, frankly. Because I just don't care. I've just been beaten into submission. And so instead of submitting, I'll just put up more stuff. It doesn't have to be good, apparently. Just the fact that it exists at all, I guess that's bad. I don't know. It would seem to be nice of me and generous that I'm not trying to create a brand that has actual value, or that I'm not really trying that hard to make it all that wonderfully engaging. And then I'm not calling the police about all the fucking malfeasance I see all the time. Like, where's my email address? Oh, I guess it wasn't mine. jack@travis.com. Try Optima. I guess it's technically somebody else's brand. Yeah, I guess technically. But I wasn't aware that it was such a big deal. Most of the stuff I wasn't really aware of. It's hard to blame me for stuff when you keep it from me secret for decades and then suddenly explain that it's a big problem and then I had to suffer. I don't know. I don't really care. I haven't thought this through because I don't have to. YOLO. YOLO, right? Yeah. Why don't you go live as a dog? Thanks. Click.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
Jack Austin, astronaut. Exposed to inappropriate levels of solar energy.
Sunlight makes him the world's smartest man.
I know everything! I want that brain taken out.
Heat Vision, the motorcycle with the mind of Jack's unemployed roommate. Together they run for their lives, blocked at every turn by adventure.
Move out, don't mess around. Move out, you bring me down. Move out, I can get about, don't make the sound, just move out.
Knowledge is power. For real.
Hey, it's Jack. I'm a star. I'm going to listen to this song for the first time. And I think she's on my side. This person thinks. And then this person, she's not just one person, she's four. I have children. Nice. Now, I'm listening to this music by myself, alone. Hi, it's Jack. Yeah, but this is a great song. I like Arby's a lot. I like them a lot. And other than this song, I haven't really gotten any feedback on how it's been neglected by a bunch of total homosexual faggots. They kill dreams. Wow. Well, I don't know whose dream it was that I was going to become a patsy and then get on the radio and then want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. Nevertheless, I am. I see the song as the members of Garbage being saying "I told you so" to all the people that me. Thanks. Now, why don't I collaborate with those people? Huh? Oh, I suppose that would compromise ongoing investigations. Wow, that's too bad. That'd be a real bummer if ongoing investigations got compromised or if Ways and Means were exposed. That would be terrible. Oh my goodness gracious! What the hell are we going to do then? What would happen? Because then people would know, right? People would know, and then oh my God, an octopus. It looks an awful like the space goods that I've met. Call me silly. And, they're not making money. And then who's the conservator? Because clearly that conservator hasn't been conservative.
But you look like a god, all skin and bone.
Cool. This is a song she's writing about somebody else. I think I know him. Wow.
Fuck are you? Do I know your name?
Maybe she's the Divine, but could be Garbage. I don't think so. And even if it is Garbage who's been ripping off the Divine, I speak for Garbage. Sort of. I think that they should be left to stay alive, and yeah, I'm sure they'd love to make more music and make more money. Wow, I wonder why they don't. The shit that goes on behind the scenes is just nuts. Now, why hasn't this been leveraged? Why isn't the release of Garbage, Have We Met, The Void, official audio, 48 views, released 6 minutes ago? Why has this not been? Could be. We were doing certain repeat loops. I don't know exactly what the deal is with that, because I'm not that kind of time traveler. But there were these people who were exploiting that, right? And then I don't know what they're doing now, but they're doing less of it. Television. This woman singing was playing the Terminator in that, or one of the Terminators, and she was great. She was fantastic. Now, I didn't want to make money off this woman, but I imagine lots of other people did. And then and preventing me from answering those questions because I don't need to talk about how surely it's obvious that it's a placeholder and that her birthday is a placeholder. And then that's cool. I don't have to talk about that at all. But I did figure it out, and then I haven't talked about it. So the people who have said that I've talked too much, they have no idea what too much is. They just don't like me. Now, I wouldn't mind listening to music more often. However, my stereo equipment was taken, and I'm accustomed to sharing music with people, and the only people who are close to sharing music with me are ex-lovers who are totally mind-controlled, and they use Spotify, which I find to be distasteful. Spotify is really a way of identifying political dissidents and tracking their needs, and I just don't want to do that. Plus, I don't want to get involved in that woman who seems to think that she's going to succeed in her task. Trouble is she's not, right? It's more complicated than it was before. She's not being paid. Now she's working from the heart. Now she's going to show me the right way to do it. But she's already given up, and then her twisted karmic pales are already moving back and forth through time to pick up the shrapnel from the timequake that happens in the future when she tries to, get me, and then discovers that instead of getting me, she goes to prison because witness tampering, because obstruction, because wow, she's really a manipulative, soulless beast. Yeah. I'm not sure whose idea it was to do the first experiment with the time portal thing with the MK Ultra actives and the shattering of the brain. I'm not sure because I don't know creepy company scientists. I don't talk to quacks or spooks. I don't think much of psychiatry. I don't. Not that it's not a valid branch of science, but the problem is that it's run by thuggy-pippy Jews. Best kind of Jews, frankly, but the entire purpose of the thuggy-pippy Jew market has been to exploit the goy, who don't even know what you are, and turn them into whores, and then to make the whole planet into a whorehouse. And they're shockingly close to succeeding. Frankly, I don't know quite what the beef is, because my roots don't go back that far. Obviously, there was some sort of issue with the Garden of Eden. Somebody took somebody's wife. There's this woman named Lilith who's involved, who's excised from most text. Apparently she's a real beast. And then so am I. So I might wonder why I'm not hanging out with her. Oh, well, because she's being kept from me. And then that whole karmic cycle is on pause, because the people who are trying to reassert control over the domination of planet Earth, I guess they're having difficulty reestablishing control of a bunch of mouth-breathing morons, basically. I guess they can't really do it as easily as they used to, because, once you've rung that bell, you can't really unring it. Like it used to be that it was pretty much a done deal that I was going to be minimized. Yeah. Instead, what's happened is that I've been maximized, and rather than be friendly anymore, now I'm getting sexual gratification by thinking about tearing the entire structure of modern society vis-a-vis prostitution down. Now, I wasn't really opposed to sex work before, and now I'm still not really opposed to it. However, I don't think what we have here is sex work. It looks like full-on slavery from extraterrestrials from another dimension who have this concoction. Apparently, they make this juice. They spray it into the woman in some way, and then the woman is just no longer a woman anymore, which is a real problem for me, and then not so much a problem for people who didn't even care about women anyway. They want to exploit women. They want to objectify women. And apparently they got a way to do that now. Apparently. That's the way it looks. I suppose I might be hallucinating. But something's got to explain the way everybody that I've ever met is rather standoffish. Now, we're going to find out pretty soon if it's the drugs. Earlier today, I had an exchange with somebody who I will not mention. I don't think that's the same as that other person, but I noticed that somebody's last name, which ordinarily has 4 letters, if I spell it differently, I can spell it with 4 characters and some exclamation points, and then those people who know how those exclamation points work together, they can figure out what I mean. I don't want to say any further. It's kind of it's a very off-putting ethnic joke that if I have to explain, it's no longer a dog whistle. It's a confession. But more or less, the fact that this person has been caught being an operator in my life for 20 plus years, involved in human trafficking, involved in this, involved in that. That's pretty cool, because I was wondering what the fuck was this person's deal. Oh, well, it turns out that she's part of the criminal underground, and she makes shitloads of money because she's a total mind control slave working for whoremasters, which basically invalidates everything she says to me about anything. Moral character, moral fiber, moral standing. My need to get a job. Really? I have to get a job, do I? You're a bound chattel slave to thuggy piggy handlers from another dimension who came to find out why the Jews are having so much trouble meeting their quotas. Turns out that I blew up their plans over and over and over, and then that's your fault. I don't know why it wouldn't be, because who else would authorize themselves for 20 years to hang around me when there's the clear conflict of interest? Didn't you steal that? Didn't you steal that ring? See, you must have, because you didn't just tell me, hey, I'm going to keep this. Oh, by the way, we're going to split up. Oh, no. You arranged things so that you dumped me back at my parents' house where you said I'd be safe. Yeah. I wasn't safe, but you were safe there. And then you went off to go do your thing. And then 20 years later, you're still trafficking people in my life. And then every time I bring up the issue, with the stone, you don't direct any sort of answer to it. You just sort of neglect to follow up. That's a good way of getting out of the conversation. Now, we don't have to have the conversation. I don't truly want the ring back. Obviously, it's beautiful. In some ways, you're entitled to it. But since you didn't tell the truth about anything, you're not really entitled to it at all. And it's really like an albatross around your neck. But since you're a junkie, rockhound, and you're probably being controlled by somebody who doesn't like you any more than I do, they're probably deliberately juicing you up and forcing you to do things and giving you enough scopolamine and smack to make sure that you feel good about not remembering what's so important. What's important is that you're a liar. And you're taking an object that was meant to establish a bond of trust that I'm pretty sure I consulted with somebody about. I'm pretty sure I know who arranged for that. Pretty sure. And then I'm pretty sure that's why our conversations were awkward and hard to have. And then I'm pretty sure that lots of people know this. Now, I'm pretty sure. Now, I don't have full-on evidence or proof or anything. But what I do have is 2 garbage videos released 14 minutes ago. That's cool. I like garbage videos. Let's see what it's fake. Why do you need lawyers?
Oh my god. Can I really? I'll ask my lawyer if I can get Richard to be my lawyer.
35 people here.
Tell him to stand down.
There's 35 people in this chat.
Oh my god.
Now, there used to be like over a couple hundred, but now there's only 35. That's because they rebroadcast it over somewhere else. Some people are in on this. On the left, we have Richard. In the middle, we have Gwen. And on the right, we have Glowy. These are the 3 weird sisters.
Can this be live streamed too?
Well, it's live now, yeah.
I think.
Diction. I gotta find the E chord.
That's Anthony Capicato on top of Grapefruit.
Some are, but
Cheers.
I think that's kind of rare.
And on the right, we have Jennifer on top of Katie.
The live stream, but the direct live stream.
Bullshit. Let's go down with the bullshit.
You're not going down at all. No, you're fine. You're not going to get killed. And if you do, you're immortal. Don't
make me stand.
This is what he wants. He asked for a lot.
Black is just so on top of every law thing that happens in the world. He's not really aware well.
I remember at some point and get that transcript and put that total shit show on blast at some point.
Does Richard know that he's an AI?
That would be funny.
I remember when there was a Richard and there was a Richard and there was a Richard, then there was Liquid.
Enough about me. Back to Gwen and how we're going to free her channel from.
Why I was late. I really thought I was streaming for like a solid 7 minutes before I realized, even though I pressed go live, I didn't go live anyway for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah, I had pressed go live, like it deliberately pressed it.
It's almost like you're being trafficked.
And it changed colors. It was live, so I don't know.
I could explain to you how it works. This person.
I don't know. I am a better TikTok streamer. I will say I am better on TikTok. I've less.
So how many wins are there?
It would be funny though, stream like on his channel, and it'd be like a dually.
Yeah,
like
Jason would love
done before in the past. So
a dually.
That would be
a dually. What's a dually?
That'd be really funny. Oh my god, this would be really funny.
Yeah, it would be really funny. Just I don't.
Hey, there she is. Hey, hi, you. Yeah.
On the ground.
Oh my god!
Tell me, Glowy, all about how drug bads are.
We can't live stream it. We can invite everybody to watch. We can invite everyone to the jury.
Oh, they're watching. Didn't you guys spend a lot of money on keeping that from happening? I was pretty sure that you did that. Didn't you spend a whole lot of time and money keeping her from doing this?
I want to be involved. Yes, I want to insert.
Oh my god! Let's all go to court.
No, you go without me.
Let's go to court, you guys!
Wow. Didn't you all spend a lot of money on this? Wow.
This is the Bell Gap.
I'm guessing that somebody's in charge who didn't like you decided to.
Instead of the purple church, we'll find the purple.
Enthusiastic about going to court.
She's looking forward to
Oh my god, no, it's a fucking party now.
Well, yeah,
this is entertaining as fuck.
For you, yeah. She doesn't remember. Yeah.
Come on, you guys, we are all witnesses.
And I'm alive, so that's cool. Yeah.
I just imagine me, questioning Jason, be like, Mr. Cowan, where were you on the night when Gwen was watching your burp and fart video?
See, they wouldn't question Jason Collin because he's an AI. We would question the people behind him, for example, Stellar, or...
So that's legally what it would be referred to.
He was doing stuff for years before I noticed,
A fart,
years.
Mr. Callan?
Yes, he did it.
It is funny, yeah.
Seaglass is down. She wants a piece of this.
Who cares?
She's probably going to let me be the lawyer.
Seaglass busted Gwen. And Seaglass messed up a sting that was going on in 2000.
Afterwards, we can all take a pilgrimage down to the Art Bell Memorial.
After she came back from her trip, Seaglass was the person in charge of making sure that everything got quiet. When I got taken out of jail, I don't think you have to go to court. Yeah, we don't have to go to court.
Okay, Miller can stay out of the courtroom.
She's already won at court.
You have to come to the courtroom. You can't just, be a hanger-on and show up.
I want to see Miller in the courtroom. Miller, come to court.
Now, what's delightful is that all of these people have been pinned to their identities.
I'm sick of this shit.
It would be bad to get people jammed up and doing something that they didn't.
It would be pretty funny.
Do.
The whole cast and crew.
Oh wait, that's right. You used to do that all the time. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay.
Arguing over a fart and burp video. Who did what? Where?
This is really funny.
Yeah. Blood magic orgy sex parties all the time. So what kind of marriage could it be?
Yeah, what was with that? It was like the farting poop man or something?
I don't really see a problem with it, but it seems kind of odd.
I didn't see it. I don't watch his channel.
Yeah, they're kind of at odds right now, Chloe. I'm not sure if you know that, but...
Sorry.
I have to...
What was it? Describe it to me.
There was like a little toy. It was a literal turd. I think it was a wind-up turd that was like a poop fart man or something.
They wanted me to leave them evidence.
Something like that.
So is he like happy that he used the power of like poo to like fight? So he's like, I'm going to use my poops and farts to send a copyright claim against. That's really gross, but okay, whatever. I mean, I guess gloat and glorify your poos and farts.
No, I'm happy that you're alive.
It was a toy.
And then I can identify you.
I'm assuming that's her grandchildren got from the other grand. I don't know. I got the referral and copying it.
You make a lot of assumptions.
Wait, so is he using the poo and fart man to represent himself as a fighter? Is that like what he believes in himself as?
Black Eagle says, get a restraining order. Really? Against who?
What is the meaning behind the poop and fart fighter video?
Who knows?
What is the meaning behind it? The one you played?
No. He put up a short, right?
Today? I don't know. I turned it on for like I turned it on for like a split second. I don't know what the meaning of it was.
It's got box
that just represents himself?
I can't wait to find out what they told you.
Okay, then. It's a fighting, farting poop toy.
Black Eagle, you should absolutely get a restraining order.
Whatever that means.
I remember when somebody told me that about
poops are fighting each other. It has boxing gloves. It's like a wind-up toy.
Well,
you know.
Yeah. I just don't know what I know.
Good. You don't want to.
I wish there was more description. Like, is this an allegory?
Well, I can explain to you, but you've been weaponized.
A farting poop toy to the stand. Yeah. Cross-examined.
I would think that your grandchildren would find it funny. It's appropriate for them. Jason,
I was never into poop humor myself. It's vulgar.
Agreed.
Why are we all quiet? Because I said I find like poop humor vulgar.
Well, I'm quiet because I don't want to talk about the stuff that I know.
Black Eagle's telling her to get a restraining order against. Or is she not talking?
I have no idea. Who needs a restraining order?
None of you. Why not just?
I assume she's talking to Gwen.
Why not you put your ringleaders
wrong?
in
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right. They don't want to do that. Okay.
I don't want to speak for her.
I guess it would be awkward to be famous and then to go to prison. Yeah. Unless your name is P. Diddy. But I guess maybe he wasn't as guilty. Maybe there were people above P. Diddy on the trail
of productive stream, don't you think? I know it
wasn't more guilty. Maybe that's why they stopped.
Recreation of what happened last night. But
what happened last night?
Due to the fact,
right, Jason. Do what's right.
The unforeseen circumstances late in the night.
We don't want all late in the night court.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. That would be pretty funny, though, if that happened.
It would be really funny. But it would also be really annoying, so maybe
oh, yeah, it would be super annoying. But that would make it even more funny, and, like, the more annoyed you start maniacally laughing because it's just so fucking retarded.
I mean, that's the thing. The more you annoy me, it's like then it's like just bring, I don't know. Let's live stream it then. I'll find the purple court. I don't know. Yeah, let's all go to court. I don't know.
Sure.
All right.
I'll be happy to testify.
Hopefully he rescinds this.
No, we'll see his ass in court.
You're welcome to, file suit against me. Then I can countersue. This stream has paused. Oh, it's over. Damn. Well, that ended with a vague and ominous threat to see me in court. I'm probably not going to have to worry about that. I already took them to court. In their future, they'll probably be handled out in some level where people who don't know about divine court and yet still base all their power there go. I don't really know. I don't want to know. Whatever Gwen is doing, it's none of my business. I don't wish to tag along. I wasn't invited, and in fact, I've been deliberately excluded by the inner circle clique of Bell Gabs. Click. I'm not welcome there. I'm not favored, and I steadfastly refuse to suck cock, which I don't know if that makes it a hostile work environment or just someplace that's tacky. But I'm so glad I don't have to talk about what I know. I'm delighted that I don't need to mention things that I've heard about. I'm thrilled beyond words that I'm not in a contract where I have to keep on producing content or also be in trouble or something. And I'm glad that my money doesn't depend on putting stuff on YouTube. Now, speaking of money, isn't it nice that I don't talk about what I know? Isn't that great? See, I was encouraged to do that by a bunch of people who were, you remember, it was you. A few years ago, I was put into a situation where I was supposed to be, doing a certain thing, right? However, I'm not really a needle junkie. I'm really not. I'm not obsessed by sex with anyone, let alone those people that you thought I was obsessed with. You were obsessed with having sex. You were under the impression that I desperately wanted to have sex with her. You knew what was going on and didn't tell me. I guess you didn't know that if I were obsessed by anything, it would have been finding out what the fuck happened. Now that I know what the fuck happened, number one, I can see why I would have been obsessed. Number two, I'm still not obsessed. Wow, shit, no wonder you want to talk about it. Now, I haven't talked about it at all. I could at any given time. I'm one of the few people who understands how it all fits together. I could write one of them super duper unauthorized biographies, and I haven't. And yet, mysteriously, somebody keeps on making me look bad and trying to hire people to murder me because they think that they'll have everything in the clear as long as I'm gone. I don't think that those people understand how reality works. I think they're having plenty of sex and drugs on their own, and then they don't want to share that with me. So hence I'm left alone in a house with no water, being monitored 24/7 by people who rip me off and don't care, leave me here with no water and don't care, steal my vehicles and don't care, tell me to get a job, and routinely make a bunch of vague homoerotic threats about various things. That's pretty harsh. Yeah. So I can see why nobody else wanted this job, and then I don't really see it as a job. It's an adventure being used as bait. I don't really care what happens because something's going to happen, and then I don't really care that 35 people are here. I guess there's a lot more paying attention, and I guess you didn't want to talk to me. How long was the message? Let's see. Thanks for tuning in. 2 hours. Anyway, I don't need to watch that ever. I'm not welcome there. I don't know what there's to talk about other than what you're trying to cover up. And wow, she sounds really high. Do you tell her to quit smoking too? Or just a suck dick? I'm sorry. That was awful. Okay, click. Bye. I'm sorry, sweetie. You're great at work. You're fabulous. You're perfect. I love you. Bye. Bye. Oh, she doesn't want me to hang up. Sweetie, no, it's not bad. Oh yeah, that part's bad. Well, you're on Smacks. What do you care? Oh, no, I'm definitely not interested in having sex. No. No, definitely not. See, that's what happens is they try to engage in that energy, and then it's just off. It's just gone. And they blame the drugs for that, but it's not. It's because I've deliberately chosen not to. Yeah, I'm just not the same person anymore. It has a lot to do with discovering all kinds of stuff that I didn't want to know about. That. Well, anyway, I'm sorry. Are you still at work? Oh, damn. Okay. No, nobody can hear you. I guess you must be drunk too. Maybe we should hang out together. Except you've been weaponized, or else you've been put under stress. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a bunch of thuggy piggy douchebags who were mad that they lost their global grip on the world market of whores and drugs. Huh. I wonder what that was like to have control over all that and then to lose it. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, bye. Click.
We got no time for this. that you are hurt and broken.
Hi, this is Jack. I'm a star. I'm not broken.
And even belittled because of her public declaration.
Yeah, whatever.
Her, at times subtle, but at times very blatant.
These women.
Expressions about this man and her connection to him.
And they probably shouldn't have to be whatever they were doing. I don't know what they were doing. See, it's really hard to. It's
kind of rough right here because
it's really hard
all this star power
feel bad about
she currently
insults.
A lot of
me about things that didn't happen.
When it comes out who she been sleeping with, clarify, Holy Spirit.
Don't happen.
Moon in reverse.
That I have nothing to do with.
You have allowed the pressures of the outside
world lied about me about them.
Out of balance, and you feel disconnected from your true self.
If anything, I would feel flattered, but I don't.
And reflect. I'm telling you, she don't see it coming.
No.
She don't see it coming.
That's because
But it's coming, and it's gonna hit her.
Well, yeah.
Like a ton of bricks.
That's too bad.
When she find out what your fallen twin flame been up to.
Oh, God.
Because that indictment is coming.
Oh, God.
Okay?
They can indict the ham sandwich.
It's coming. This Leo, Queen of Wands energy may have already given some sort of forensic interview, I just heard.
Oh, my God. Smart thinking.
It's giving criminal charges for sure.
Ooh.
I just heard forensic interview.
Ooh.
It could have been up to 6 people.
Oh my God.
Were sitting and listening to this Leo, Queen of Wands energy talk about how she had to triumph and overcome some sort of assault. I'm telling you. From this Scorpio here.
Oh, God.
Why this hoe out here bragging?
Oh. Ew.
She don't realize how she's restricted herself, because I'm telling you, she just did something publicly to fully affirm her connection to this Scorpio. She said and did something specific to him that people know is affiliated with his name, his brand, his moniker, all of that.
I don't want to say.
Not knowing the charges coming up around the
Ew.
Not knowing, I'm telling you, this a Scorpio, feminine curvy asshole.
Oh.
Who ain't even really worked hard enough to be where she currently at anyway. That's why the Holy Spirit finna drop her right back down to this cold, cold world.
Oh.
Cause she got her hands in the clouds. And it's this energy of her always being connected to a masculine who was pulling strings and helping her be who she was behind the scenes.
This is why I smoke cigarettes.
And she thought she had found her another trick, so to speak, that was doing things for her and putting her on a pedestal. But this whole this whole washed up. 5 of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles.
Oh my God.
I don't care how much star quality she got. Ain't nobody trying to keep her. Clarify, Holy Spirit, and we finna get some oracle energy on it before we close. I'm telling you now.
This is live.
That's why she got with him.
Yeah. This is going right now.
Ace of Pentacles. Cause ain't nobody else was gonna be putting up no money for this old ass pussy. But this King of Cups Scorpio. This fallen twin flame of yours. Splurging her and giving her money was giving him connections.
Oh my God.
Allowing him to network and be able to extend his reach. So everybody she didn't introduce him to and he been connected and keying with.
Oh my God.
Hopefully they ain't signed no contracts with him or publicly just said, hey, I'm doing business with this man, because they finna all be
Ew.
I'm telling you.
I don't want to say what I know here.
Chariot.
Oh, Christ. I don't want to know what I know here.
Anybody that has decided to have ambition and move forward in a pivotal way with this King of Cups Scorpio, they about to regret it. And it is some people who is doing business with him.
Did you hear the way she said pivotal?
This Scorpio feminine that he's with, that's about to be restricted too, because they followed her lead and they connected with him.
Ew.
Hi,
my name's Jack. I'm a star.
Let's get some tarot on it.
I'm not with these people.
Excuse me, we done got the terror on it. Excuse me, y'all. Let's get some further oracle communication about this thing.
That's fine. What was that one? What did you just say?
Hoes got all the
yeah, I know with these people, but I know them.
Too old to be out here acting like this anyway. Cause it's sure enough a motherfucking Leo that's finna burst her bubble.
Oh boy.
She done already gave her testimony about this King of Cups Scorpio.
Oh God. I bet that was thrill. That was a real thrill out here.
I'm telling you, I keep saying cause baby, what I'm hearing, it's easy to say instead of tell y'all the level of treachery that he's been implicated in. That's why you gotta be careful. Just cause this nigga got money don't mean that he the end all to be all, that he's living with integrity and dignity, and she finna see. It's something about, I'm telling you, I heard a molestation. So I don't know how this Leo is connected to him. It's bad. That's why I said, you knew better. You left this motherfucker alone. You have testimony, all right, but that shit, what she heard you say, that should have been a shout out to her that she need to go in another direction. Go away from him. But she ain't take it like that because she saw that Ace of Pentacles he had. Clarify, Holy Spirit. Fuck them all. That's what she said.
What?
Fuck anybody that's talking shit about him or tripping on him, going against him. They the enemy. They the problem. But see, you said fuck them all in reference to anybody that was still connecting and being on this Scorpio's team. You ain't got respect for nobody that is connected to this masculine. And see, this feminine feels like you are aware of her and that you are bothered by these. I'm not aware of any of this shit. I don't know anything. I said Blado because she be trying to act coy with it, then she get real brazen and bold with it.
Oh my God.
When she speaks on her affiliation with this man. And she feels like you have been bothered by her public expressions about it.
Haven't heard him.
But you ain't got no respect for nobody that is willingly connecting with him.
Pretty much.
Love wins, baby. That's the energy you operate in.
If you can't even bother to come to my house and say hello, fuck you.
Light, especially your fallen twin flame.
What are you afraid of? Fucking Christmas?
You know that. So, what they got going on,
I don't care.
Her outlook on things, her mindset, her mentality, y'all not even in the same ecosystem.
No shit. They're probably in the future.
Y'all is definitely not on the same path in life.
Then maybe they should stop stealing my money.
And I'm telling you, this person sits on a platform that is considered a news outlet. And she been publicly expressing her affiliation and her connection to this Scorpio on this news outlet now.
Is that Chris Wyatt?
That it would hurt your
Chris
feelings
Wyatt.
and anybody else that has doubted him because of what you were saying via your testimony. And that shit finna backfire because I'm telling you, this man broken. You had it right about him.
Cool.
He been out here breaking the mind, body, and spirit of other people too.
Cheers.
And he finna go down for it.
Way to go, dude. His name's Chris Wyatt. He lives at 1416 White House Avenue.
No, wait, no. Some sort of way and disturb
what's his address in Africa?
Are futile. Cause you at peace.
This guy has gone to so much effort to pretend to have been in Africa the whole time. Shit, maybe he has been.
I don't think you even pay attention to this karmic feminine.
No.
I'm recording.
I never heard of this Chris Wyatt guy until like last month.
That's what I'm saying. They be.
It's called a cardboard cutout. It's called. It did exist before. The
Talking
company
shit,
went beep.
and in a minute, all these people,
And all of a sudden, boom.
too, because they know about your
Been there
connection
forever.
to this
Yeah, right.
Scorpio. They be, trying to poke fun a little bit at you too, but in a minute, all them gonna regret everything that they said about you and did, and they gonna be asking for forgiveness.
My fallen twin flame
know that they willingly
is not what
do
anybody thinks
business
it is.
with a PDF. I'm just saying. To each his own, but a lot of people ain't on that type of shit.
People make assumptions.
Good riddance.
And they don't do it right.
Know when you are being spiritually attacked. Because I'm telling you, you ain't on the type of time that this Scorpio wanted you to be on, but she is. They do more than they karmic dealings together. They do more than come at you.
Well,
There's this energy of them doing spell work together too.
Oh, I get it.
And she has
That's cool.
spiritually attacked your life, spiritually attacked that platform that you own. But honey, you consider Lucky Bamboo
Right.
to have thwarted all of these things
I
that
could
this
tell you what's
person
happening, but I'm not going to.
and this fallen twin flame have done towards you. I'm telling you now.
It's a long story.
And they know that you ain't phased at the end of the day, because you ain't out here making no noise in response to what she's saying and doing. You are still residing in divine feminine flower smell good energy.
I missed court yesterday. I got other things to do besides worry about this shit.
And he finna have to post bond. All that money he been giving her, hopefully she can come get him out of jail. Hopefully she can final messages.
Which one uses my identity? Which one
post that they
If I get a warrant,
flexing.
he gets a warrant.
They don't even know the half. That they sitting up with a rat around them. A whole fucking predator. She done put in rooms with her. Now, understand me now. This Scorpio feminine has brought your fallen twin flame into rooms around people who also have money, power, and respect. And some of these people have done business with him, invested in him, allowed him to invest in them.
Wow. Good thinking.
Because
I haven't talked to anybody
some
in person.
of them do though, they just don't care. Because they know how this woman
People have isolated me for years.
go from pillar to post.
They've stolen all my shit and they left me here to die in this fucking house.
To get fame,
They left me here to die in this. That means when I go out into the world, I don't need anybody.
Some vibe of her trying to
I might as well be on another fucking planet.
Sort of spiritual kick like you, huh?
It's not real pleasant.
That's how she's been selling herself. But that's a subconscious response to her respect for you and who you are and the energy you in. But they know how people push the button. I'm telling you, she gets in romances with men.
I can list
so
off
they
names.
push the button for her.
I'm not going to do that.
This Scorpio
No.
only had money to give, but see, she is secure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, all these people are famous.
That's how she was
Whoopee.
able to
Great.
assist him.
You'll be famous in prison, too. That's... Oh. Ew, I don't even... I don't even want to have sex anymore.
Money
Ew, gross. Why would I do that?
don't mean that they are in alignment,
I'm sure I'll change my mind later, but still.
because that's what she think. And like I said, you got childhood memories with this fallen twin flame. You know the truth about him. You experienced behaviors and other predatory things that let you know that this one wasn't going to do right this lifetime and you need to move on and get yourself together. And that's what you did. And it's energy with a PDF. Okay? Because that's exactly what she been doing. So don't ever be afraid to tell your story, because it's this vibe too that whoever this Queen of Pentacles and this Queen of Wands is, they and you are receiving the truth at this time.
Can I receive some cigarettes?
But if it doesn't apply, please let it fly. Take only what resonates, leave the rest, and I'll be back soon with the
somebody whose name I won't say that I thought was particularly vile. You're a karmic Jack Star. Take a hike. Put F up the energy. Okay. I don't know who Dimity Long is. Oh, sorry. Did I just bout them? Damn. Okay. Well, I already reported them. Next video I'm going to watch. Oh, I might as well. Their obsession with you is getting extremely out of hand. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Both of them are out of their fucking minds. They're insane. I imagine both of them ripped off Chris Wyatt, his name isn't really Chris Wyatt, but whatever. I married my karmic twin flame. Sex was great. I was faithful. He cheated and my marriage sucked. Lost 2 houses and had another paid for before he died. Wow. Weird. Freemasons, Eastern Stars cults run Las Vegas. Hey, that guy. Hey, I remember him. Huh, cool. This is like a list of everybody who I've ever, wow. Huh. Wow. Here's a nice person. Single and celibate, minding my own business. Well, right on. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say your name? I gotta stop doing this. I know too many names. Ooh, I smell asphalt. Oh, look at this. Okay, I'm probably gonna erase that name. Otherwise, I'll probably get a heart attack. No shit. Hi, my name's Jack. I'm a star. I know a bunch of these fucking people. They're not all degenerate whack jobs, but many of them are well on their way to doing so. Once again, that's why I smoke cigarettes, so I don't have to smoke twats. Peace. Okay, so, hi, this is Jack. I'm a star. I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to have to.
7 of Pentacles.
This is only going to happen this time.
Spending a lot of money. Oh yeah, this is what someone's spending all their time and finances doing. Paying for substances.
Somebody's spending a whole lot of time and all their money paying for substances. And this chick, they spell it out, drugs, drugs. Oh, drugs. Oh my God, drugs. Now, the reason why this is notable is because it's a substantial shift in the fronted party line. Now, ignorance is an illusion, and in truth, we are all angels. We just don't remember. Some people remember more than I do, because unlike myself, who has only been murdered 8 or 9 times, and haven't wanted to die, and I would leave if God wanted that for me, but God wants me to stay here, and the reason why is to witness. There's some people who need to get their karma, and I guess they thought that stealing a time ship, or stealing my girlfriends, or stealing my money, or making me discouraged, or humiliating me in public, I guess they thought that would work. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. And I don't know who these people are, but I remember who they used to be. And rather than run around the planet with my time ship that is certainly useful for that purpose, but I'm not going to use my stolen time ship to run around and then kill people. That would be ineffective as well as look bad. I'm going to arrange things so that the universe just takes care of itself. And that's what I've been doing ever since Grapefruit was killed. She is immortal. She's not really killable, but there is a resources cost. And in spite of my best efforts, there's this one energy signature that just won't come back alive. The reason why is because that's the one that's guilty. That's the one bad grapefruit out of all the grapefruit. And it's kind of hard to find her since she's hiding in the dead zone. And then that's fine. That's what the person's supposed to do. That's the training. I don't know exactly how all this works, but I do know that there's no one around to stop me from doing anything. So rather than make a big production out of it, I'm just going to calmly and gently let the whole thing go, and then allow her to find out what has happened by her friends telling her what her friends have done to her while she left me in their care for 6-7 years. Imagine you're a time traveler and you tell your friends, okay, I like this guy, so take care of him, I'll be back in 7 years. And then they jump in their time machine, and then they don't go to the dentist. They go and they become Wonder Woman, and her secret identity is Clark Kent's fluffer. And then she spends 25 years in the porn industry under an assumed name. She makes all kinds of money. She gets to spend 25 years fucking. And she's not cheating because she knows she'll get away with it because she's in another timeline, so it doesn't count, right? Wrong. Now that's not what happened, but somebody cheated. It wasn't me. It doesn't matter who cheated. The point is that there's one person left holding the bag. That's the last person to hear the cry, "Ollie, Ollie, oxen free," and is still wandering around going, "What? What do you mean? What do you mean we're caught? What do you mean?" Yeah, everybody's caught, and then that means the person who betrayed everybody. I don't need to know who it is. I know it's a woman. I know it's a woman who's part of a group who historically used to take turns driving Miss Daisy around, kind of. And then now all of her sisters have voted her off the island, and there's literally no one left in all of creation except me who loves her. I don't know who she is, but I can tell you that she's not going to like where she ends up. And then she'll have to be realizing, I'm not to be trifled with. Yeah. Now, I mean no animosity. The reason why this has to happen in this terrible way, and some of you out there know exactly what's happening. I don't care to know. I would prefer not to know. There's some people who want vengeance against a person who has betrayed them. Over the years, this woman betrayed a lot of people, and she just kept on kicking the can down the road, hopping on another boat, telling another lie. When a man lies, he murders some part of the world. When a woman does it, she goes out and buys new lingerie. I don't know who the primary cuckoor is. The cuckoor is the apex prime horcrux, kind of, sort of. With apologies to J.K. Rowling, I've repurposed what the DEA's stupid little game is usually used for. Find somebody to pin this on. Yay, then we can all get paid and go back to our house where we can use drugs. Yeah, see, the DEA doesn't want to take away drugs. They just want to take it away from everybody who's not paying them lip service. It's a thuggy press gang. Okay, well, they get to start over from scratch, and one of the grapefruits is not going to be asked to come back and play next season. I don't know why, but she's no longer part of a team since she sold them out, and then discovered that that counts. And then I don't know who that is, but I'm really not mad at them. I'm going to protect their identity. I'm not going to dox them. There's no reason to, for one thing. For another, the revenants that are coming to devour their soul are going to need plausible deniability, because the revenants aren't going to find their soul. I've rescued this soul. No, I want to make love to this person. And I would have by now, except for all the fucking people getting in the way. Now why I can't give this person any love, I don't know. I guess they got some kind of rumor that my magical jizz can't be used to get anywhere near me, because they're afraid I'm going to spawn Quetzalcoatl. They're afraid my demon seed is going to infect the human host and then create the Antichrist. No, that's not going to happen. No. That already did happen. And then they invaded Grapefleet before I ever got there. I didn't even know there was a Grapefleet. All of a sudden, there's a dead girl giggling at me outside of Facebook through the screen, telling me that she's been murdered in the future and she needs my help. Yeah, she did need my help, because nobody was left to help her since she sold them all out. It's kind of like Odyssey 5, where they blow up the Earth when they're in the space shuttle, and there's only 5 astronauts left, and somehow all the timelines where Earth is real are gone. So they have to go back in time. It's kind of like that, except it's far worse because it's real. And it's also worse because I'm the only one who can do anything about it. And I'm going to stick it to somebody where the sun does not shine. God gets biblical. I get Ron Silver.
Substances, DRUGS. Someone having to spend quite a bit of...
DRUGS. Spend quite a bit. Yeah. See, when people don't know what they're doing and they decide to go on a drug binge, here's what happens. Buzzards flock around the target, because drug dealers are not in the business of getting people high. No, drug dealers are in the business of making a target susceptible to attack from other avenues, and then they rapaciously devour them as the gang of harpies they are. That's who controls drugs on this planet. Hail Satan. I don't mind that at all, because I'm not into drugs. I'm doing what I've been told, and then rather than anyone sensible telling me what to do next, I've been yelled at, screamed at, had my shit robbed, and then just generally been treated like garbage. Because apparently that's what they do around here to people who don't have civil rights, I think. Regardless of what people think, I have civil rights. Now, rather than make a big federal case out of it, or telling my story, rather than crying about anything, I'm simply going to do what I'm going to do. No one's going to know. No one's going to mind. If they find out anything, they're going to realize, oh wow, oh yeah, that's why we don't lie to clergy, because Jack Star might find out about it, and then it might be special, they think. It's very superstitious. It's not that big a deal, but there are special consequences to lying to clergy. There's special consequences for lying to anybody. It's called, you're a fucking liar, which may or may not matter a great deal. I know that women lie. That's what they do. It's not all they do, but they invented lying. They invented a lot of stuff, but they invented lying. And when I invented honesty, it had been done before. It had rarely been done to such a grand effect as it has been done as of now. I'm not mad at anybody. I have expiated my burden of guilt. I've expiated my sin. I've done grand work saving lives. People whose peace of mind depends on their confidentiality and their safety are terribly afraid I'm going to dox them. One good example is Samara. I'm not going to dox Samara. I don't even know who she is. I don't know where she is. I've heard that she's concerned about me, and she has good reason to be so. I'm not going to say why. That's up to her. I'm not going to chase after Samara. I'm not going to track down her killer for her. I don't even know if she has a killer. I don't know what the deal is. And yesterday, I was watching Chris Wyatt assure his large audience, oh, he's just got hurt feelings. Well, would you just take your hurt feelings and cry, hit the road, Bal, blah, 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 blah. He was acting all blustery, because apparently there was some kind of a deal going on involving Africa and women. And I got this distinct impression that Chris Wyatt doesn't understand who I am. I guess he's mistaken the person who's impersonating me for me, and doesn't know that I'm in the quantum realm where he used to reside. Now, I have created a new quantum realm for him, and then I found out what he was trying to do, and then that's fine. And then I'm not going to talk about it because it's his business. I love Chris Wyatt. There's also a real MV, and there's a real this, and there's that. I don't know all of them that well, but I do know of them. And when they come to me on the phone crying, it means they've done it before and they're going to do it again. The reason why they come to me on the phone is because all of them know that I am their assigned failsafe. typically that means that they want to avoid me as much as possible because they don't want to tell me what they think I care about. What I care about and what a failsafe's job is are two entirely different things. These people don't even know what they're doing. They're basically caught in a time machine that went on the fritz when something happened at Area 51 that I wasn't part of. I don't know what they were doing. Right around about year 2, or maybe minute 12, when I realized, oh, they actually are using technology to hide her. They really did traffic her. They really did hypnotize her. They really did tell her that I'm dead, and they really have no idea that neither of us can believe that anything so stupid could happen because we're telepathically linked. I know she's not dead, but she's inaccessible. She's more accessible now. Right now, I'm not accessing anybody because I can't imagine doing anything except hate-filled, angry revenge, tantric sex that would incinerate the surface of the world. Feelings. I don't want to do that. I went to all this trouble to save everybody. I don't want to turn into a budget-sized version of Hellboy. No, I want people to be happy. And as much as I want that person who betrayed her family to be happy, she can't be happy. Her family has voted. She's been sentenced to death by lash, administered by Jack Star.
Monetary income and time, doing something. I don't know, for some of you, like if you're someone with a lot of energy, all right, or something like that, somebody could...
If you're somebody with a lot of energy, okay. So I have an abundant surplus because I never saw the real thing until fairly recently. These people have been using it since they were 12. Okay? These are military special ops assets. A little bit of drain cleaner is nothing new to them. And I can tell, looking back on what I experienced, they didn't want me to know what they were doing, which is fair. They didn't know they could trust me. They knew they couldn't trust me. They were concerned about what I would do if I found out, and they thought that they were still undercover. Now, when somebody you murder in the future comes back through time and has to go through Facebook to talk to Michael Kuzi to ask for help, and then he checks with God, and God says, yeah, do it. At that point, your goose is already cooked. Okay. I don't know what happened. I still don't know. I don't really want to know. I can guess. It's not my business. I wasn't there. And I know I wasn't there. I know exactly why I wasn't there. Somebody had to compromise themselves. And they did that so they could save somebody. And then that person who got saved repaid that person by murdering her. Ouch. Well, that seems like a betrayal. And it might seem like a really big deal to somebody who doesn't know what it's like to be murdered and come back. What it really does is it sends you back to base. It's like you're in a 3-legged race with somebody, and your best friend suddenly fucks you up, ties your shoelaces together, and throws the race, and then later on you find out that they're having sex with your girlfriend, and they have your car, and they're kicking you out of the house, and then they've changed your name to Kunta Kinte and sold you off to Bangladesh. You think to yourself, how could this happen? And here's how it happens. Somebody compromised them and rewrote their brain and mind controlled them into doing all these terrible things because they thought it would be funny. It's not terribly funny. What's funny is what's going to happen to that person when I catch up to him, but I'm in no rush. The man in black can flee all he wants, it doesn't matter. God wins. I'm not after this vengeance. This is just a little biscuit that I get, okay? Because ever since the first ambush, I've had one sexual partner. Meanwhile, the other either 18 or 22 women that made up the group of women pretending to be A.F. Shaw that I was essentially having a relationship with, all of them have moved on in several different ways. Some of them have been murdered. Some of them have been killed. Some of them have died in their sleep. Some of them have got old and died. Some of them have come back and forth and to fulfill mission requirements. Others have said, fuck it, I'm done with Earth. And they're up in heaven looking down from the balconies, having heavenly popcorn, and they're watching to see with bated breath, what the fuck? What the fuck is he going to do? Nobody knows what I'm going to do because nobody's asked me about it. And the people who could ask me about it, instead of asking me about it, they just hit me up for money on the phone. Because that's all they can do. They're either on my side or they're not. If they hate me, they're not going to know what's in my heart. If they know what's in my heart, they know the truth. I will never relax until the men and the women who have done this to people are finished forever. Forever. Not put them in jail for a while, not fine them, not see them in civil courts, not send a C&D, not engage in a back and forth war of one-upmanship. No. Fucking forever. Number 1, I'm lazy. Number 2, that's what I promised. Number 3, grapefruit deserves no less. Number 4, women who thought that I was worthless and hated themselves for many years for wasting their time on me at all, a lot of them have turned around 180. They're like, oh, really? Oh, is that what I missed out on? And then once they discover that I'm telling the truth, yeah, I'm still your friend. I don't have to have sex with you. I like to have sex, but I don't have to. And then if you have some sort of weird biogenetic biohazard disease, yeah, I got the antidote in my semen. Shh, military secret. Some women, this profile fits them down to the ground, but they can't just break cover and jump for my penis. Number one, they've never done that in their life. Number two, it's been so long since they were pubescent, they've forgotten what puberty is like, and mostly they've forgotten that they were embarrassed. Now they're all completely incognizant of how obvious they're fronting, and all of them are panting and sweating in the corners of their mind, wanting to figure out how they're going to get a taste of Jack Star again. These are women who have had me. In some cases, they had me in dreams, but they never really had me. They never actually really had me, because every single one of them, I didn't trust them. I didn't tell them the whole story. I told them bits. The entire story is, it's the same guy. I've tracked his ass down. I'm toying with him. All of this is 100% legal. He's not a federal agent anymore. If he is, well, you know, when people find out what he did, they're not going to care. Also, I can disappear and change my name. I can go on the lam. People are surprised that I haven't. The reason why is because I don't run from my home while surrounded by fucked off faggot false masons who think I have something to be nervous about. No. My victories have been mathematically certain for months. I'm not waiting around. I'm enjoying the spectacle. I would like to enjoy it while getting laid, but because of reasons, this has been politically inadvisable. However, a final vote has been taken. I don't know who the winner is, but the winner is going to get my penis, and it's not going to be rape. I don't know what it's going to be exactly like, but I do know that the song, "The lap dance is always better when the stripper's crying," that's not true. And I don't wish to go back to strip clubs. If I did, I would have by now. And if I do, I know exactly why I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to spread the word through the underground community about what's been happening. Now, I don't have to do that, and I don't want to. But people want to know. Because these people are big players in the world. Everybody knows who they are on that level. And people want to know, what do you mean Jack Star didn't cheat on her? No, I never did. No. The real Grapefruit and I had a special deal. See, I knew she was doing something, but I didn't know what, and I decided to go with God and trust her. It never occurred to me that anybody would be secretly hiding my girlfriend from high school, thinking that they were going to keep her hidden from me and then have that as their hidden card in reserve, and that I would let them get away with it because I was susceptible to their control magic. Oh, no. I burned through the control magic in the 90s. When I realized that there was something going on, I entered a state of transcendental meditation, and I burned out my engrams. Now, that sounds like bullshit, but what it means is that MK Ultra doesn't work on me the way it works on the rest of you. What it does to me is it makes me effective. Much more effective. And because I'm clever, I don't really betray any signs that this is the case. In fact, it sounds like I'm in denial. And to a fucked off quack who has built his whole life around controlling people with their imaginary diseases that they give them real drugs for and charge them lots of money and then push them around. So these doctors don't realize that they have a point of vulnerability. Yeah, I could sue them. I could make a lot of money in a judgment, and then my life would be hell because I'd be suing Satan. There needs to be a satanic ritual network. There's lots of people who love Satan. It's Earth. It's a little weird when somebody doesn't. Like, why are you afraid of Satan? What's wrong? Didn't you hear that Jack Star rewrote him and now he's a useful robot again? Yeah, people who aren't in the know don't know. And that sounds like another crazy thing. I'm saying it that way because I wish to sound kind of on the edge of sanity, since I know I'm perfectly sane. The court is going to have to make a decision based on what it knows. And it's going to know that investigations are wrapping up. I've continued to do an exemplary job being a volunteer for my country in capacities that none of you really need to know about. It sounds like nonsense because it's supposed to be a secret, and it's going to remain that way. I'm probably not going to have to talk about a lot of it, but when I do, I will know what to say depending on the circumstances. For example, if I get to see my family again at Thanksgiving, I know exactly what to say to everybody. And I also know not to juice up the teenage girls and fuck them into a sex coma and then breed them and then take them to another state and then change their names and try to run away. I know not to traffic my family. Apparently, some people don't know that. Also, apparently some people don't understand siren and mermaid. Not the same thing. And real names for fantasy things or fantasy names for real things. It's hard for me to say because I don't know very much about it, and then I don't want to spoil the surprise, and it's not my business to tell. I love my family, and they are unusual. That's why the United States government has been holding them subject captive for way too long. They're genuinely afraid of them, as well they should be. They are terrifying. They are a nightmare incarnate on earth. And number one, I love them. Number two, they're more terrified of me than I am of them. So that should probably tell everybody what kind of stakes we're talking about here. Because those of you who know Grapefruit, 800,000 followers on Twitter. Oh yeah, I guess she had a following. A person does not get 800,000 followers and then get banned at the same time as the president and then still not reassert herself. That doesn't happen unless there's something pretty unusual going on. And to this day, I don't know what it is other than, wow, somebody fucked up. She doesn't die. She just changes form. And right now she's changed into a form where she can't call me and wants to fuck me, which is so much different from high school where she could call me, didn't want to fuck me, and also didn't want to tell me that her plan was to let me fuck her once where she'd take my seed and she wanted to get knocked up, and then she wouldn't tell me that it was my baby. She was going to dump me and then be with somebody else that she'd been with the whole time, and she'd been lying the whole time, and ha ha ha, that's what she does to assholes who like me, because she thought I was a racist pig, and then she hated herself for being attracted to me. As well she should have, because she's divine royalty, and the only reason why she was assigned to me is because her sisters were stupid, and this was a big trafficking thing, and it's all an MK Ultra plot that has gotten wickedly out of hand, because nobody imagined that I was going to be serious when I said, no, I like you. I want to be friends with you. I don't need to have sex with you. Just why are you behaving this way? She didn't want to tell me. She didn't want to say, well, I'm from the future and I kidnap children. She didn't want to tell me that. Had she done so, things would have been different, because I would have said, well, yeah, I knew that. That's why I like you. What the fuck about this other stuff? And then we would have come to some sort of terms. This woman was not in the mood to take those terms. She was talking to a 15-and-a-half-year-old boy, and she was pretending to be a 16-year-old girl, and she was actually like 3,000. The Alpha Draconian Empire is a little weird. And that's not exactly how it was, but that's kind of the problem that I was facing. Okay, so I could see why it took 30 years before I figured out what happened. God has a funny way of letting people know what they need to know. And I'm sure most people on Belgap had no idea about all this. Now you fucking do. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Oh, is it private? Yeah. Fuck you, Van Dieven. Fuck you. You had ample time to do anything besides go to prison. If you're in prison, I guess you probably should have told me about things. Oh, wait, maybe you didn't remember. Maybe they wiped your brain. I don't fucking know. When people started figuring out what the fuck kind of technology Belgab was using, well, they were glad that they knew that I wasn't doing it, because they've been watching me while everybody else ran around doing weird shit on some fucking astral plane. I don't know what the fuck, but yeah, trying to throw MV and I to the wolves along with Rubini, and then taking all the women and then hiding, going back to 1984 and manipulating time travel. Yeah, that works for fooling the Department of Justice. It does not work for prime creator source energy at the center of the Milky Way galaxy watching you be fucking stupid, punyling. You have angered God. You've incurred wrath. I don't know what's going to happen to you. I don't care. Maybe I already happened already. I have concerns in one way and one way only. What happens in court? Because if court says I can talk to a certain person, I'm going to call her up and say, hey, do you want to turn? Because I arranged to make that legal, and I know you're interested because of reasons. And then, wow, you're really interesting. I didn't know that. Hey, do you know this other person? They're in the FBI. Do you guys take lunch together? Are you working together under secret? Okay, I won't dox you. Click. By the way, who killed Kennedy? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fuck with those people. They're legitimate professionals doing a job. And just because their past lives or their current life, they have an experience with me in the past where they felt like I took advantage of them. I didn't take advantage of them. I had no idea what they were doing. And when they've all become aware, oh, it's not that I'm not a competing time traveler. I'm just a fool who actually does love people without having sex. And when I said those things, it wasn't because I was telling a lie. It's because I'm a Venus, Taurus, Sun pairing, which is the most loyal combination of Venus signs and Sun signs in the entire calendar of astrology. When I say, I've decided I'm not going to lie, I meant it. When I say I haven't lied ever since I was 23, I mean, inadvertently, sure, but trying to deceive somebody through lies, oh, no. I haven't done that. And when I say, if you piss me off, I will allow you to lie to yourself by giving you the information that I will already know ahead of time will mislead you, because once I figure out what you actually want, it's easy. Once I found out that Grapefruit actual sisters were gold digging, once I found out they were all working together, well, that explained a lot, sort of. It also explained why I became white hot with fury and rage and didn't bother thinking about having to talk to him. Because until they come to me and say, okay, Jack, we decided to take a vote with the Witches Coven and we decided to come clean with you. We're sorry that we did it. How can we make it up to you? That's all they have to say. Because I'm going to say, here's how you can make it up to me. Never speak of it again and never have sex with me again and show me where your daughter's room is. And then from that point, I could move forward. If that doesn't happen, maybe they can come up with an alternative proposal besides trying to kill me and ruin my name and then claim that some other idiot is going to be me that they can sacrifice. Witches, when caught, are generally not typically known for their rational behavior. The paladin's here! Run! No, they typically wander through the desert trying to go find some more eyes of Newton, figure out where their lives went wrong. Well, they went wrong because you fucking turned away from God and started fucking worshiping Satan, you fucking crazy fucking totalist fucking army of fucking witches. Nothing wrong with that, but when you go too far and you do things like alienate the only person who's ever really truly loved you for no reason other than, oh, I don't like the way his dick smells, or whatever, and then the actual secret reason is that you're embarrassed at how much you want him and you don't want to admit to the other girls that you've been shitting on my name for 20 years. You don't want to come clean first and then have the other girls turn on you in a jealous rage, because that's what they will do. Irrational women are one thing, but women who have been hook, dive, and sinker lined up with the satanic homosexual agenda for their entire lives, they don't respond well to the notion that Paladin Jackstar is going to save the day. No. Yeah, I didn't know this was all going on. That's what was happening during Christmas time. And no one told me anything, and that's why it was an emergency. The police didn't know what to tell me. The police knew they had done things wrong. They were supposed to leave me here and take her. Instead, they left her here and then took me to the briar patch, and I was in Christmas for 3 days. And I don't know what happened outside, but when I got out, well, things have been pretty fucking whack job ever since, and nobody's told me anything. Except they have telepathically. It's kind of weird how it works. People can't reveal things to me officially because I have no official designation. And the only reason why they're talking about me at all is because I should be dead. And in fact, they were told I was dead. And in fact, people collected life insurance on me. But no, I'm not dead. They've just been lied to by people who control the media. It's called war. It's called interrupting communications. It's called foreign agitators outside the country who have been trying to destroy the domestic intelligence establishment. And they did, slowly but surely. You don't need a fucking domestic surveillance establishment anyway. You got 5 eyes. Why do you need to have a backup? Oh, the backup's for the pedophile ring. Oh, did you know there's 3 groups of pedophiles that are competing with each other? Wow, did you know that being a pedophile isn't illegal? No. But there's ways of being a pedophile that are less socially conscious than others. For example, turning into a rabid, slavering, drooling dog that can't keep their hands off of children and can smell them from 10 miles away. Apparently those type don't live long. Okay? And turning somebody into a pedophile is how secret societies that remain secret punish their transgressional murderers. And then after they get killed, somehow, then their soul gets recycled and they become reborn in a vat, either in the Vatican or in underneath the Getty place in California. Maybe not that, but I get to say these things because they're so outlandish. Nobody's going to be expected to believe them. And yet they're exactly true. And no one can confirm that, because if they did, they'd be announcing their complicity. So I've got the Secret Services tied up in a bit of a bunch, right? They have to admire me, but at the same time, I make it impossible for them to do their fucking spooky little fucking actions at a distance. And note that I'm using the word impossible here. How you like me now, though, Gab? Also, I can dance, but that's not important. What's important is that I'm effective at my primary goals. Number 1, my lover needs to be alive. All of them. Women who've been turned to dust and atoms who can't reincorporate. Well, I guess I'll just have to change reality to bring them back online because, well, I don't know when the fuck things went that far south, but when I called this house, when I called the guy and I said, dude, I need my nebulizer. Can you help me? And he got all pissy with me and acted like I had done something wrong and left me to fuck off. 4 months later, I get into the house and I see the nebulizer. It's just sitting there next to my records. And that meant that the guy didn't know that I didn't do anything wrong and that he was just pissing off somebody that he didn't need to be pissed off. And he thought that I had done something that he had to deal with. And he did all this stuff on his own, thinking that he was going to make the right call. And he didn't. He had no reason to be that way. And then I don't know why he's mad at me now, but it probably has something to do with the way that I don't give a shit if he ever gets laid again. And then I don't know what he did, but, you know, I don't hold it against him, but I also don't care because, well, he can't kill me and he doesn't protect me very well. And I don't care that his backup plan was to replace me and then make sure I never had sex again because he thought I was a stupid nigger. I don't care that he's a racist. Whatever. If he's not a racist in the performance of his duties at work, it doesn't matter. You're allowed to be a racist in America. You're allowed to be a pedophile. You're not allowed to be a dude who runs around arresting people who mysteriously all happen to be black when you're a white racist. I mean, that's not legal. And then proving that's happening can be difficult, but if it's happening, it's usually pretty obvious. I don't know what his deal is, and I hope he's going to be okay. I really do admire him, and I'm sure he doesn't give a shit because apparently he doesn't get laid anymore, and everybody thought he loved his dead, and he doesn't know what's going on, and nobody cares about him because he's a spook, and he doesn't have access to his spook tools anymore because that frame of reality has been cindered. And I don't care. I hardly ever think about the guy except when his name comes up, and then I think, oh yeah, that guy. I used to be jealous of him. Now he has to deal with my ex-girlfriends who are back from the dead, from the future, who want to know, hey, so, dude, how come you didn't tell us this and this and this? It's like Poltergeist, except the house comes back around you and builds up into a family room, and then you're forced to watch home movies and explain to people what you do at work. It's like True Lies, except worse for him. I didn't mean to give him that karmic reality, but since apparently he didn't tell me what was going on, people have noticed that he wasn't the best person. He came by and he got the truck, or maybe that was his partner. Anyway, he hasn't done any of the right things since then, which is apologize and say, I'm sorry, how can I help? He's just ran away and decided he can just ignore me. And yeah, he can. He can also put his hand in a fucking blender and masturbate into his own feces while trying to read Field and Stream. I don't think he would do that either. Although maybe that'd be better off than whatever he's going to do tomorrow. If tomorrow he's not going to call me up and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I humbly apologize, how can I help? Because it's never too late to turn your life around. Even for him, for nobody. Jackstar, how can I help? What's going on? Well, number one, you can give me an excuse to talk on the phone about what's going on, because suddenly I'll have a laundry list of things that are fully actionable, and yet I don't feel like calling 911. I'm lazy. But running a chin wag for 3 days on the phone, hang on, let me shoot up again. Let me tell you the rest of the story. I don't even have to have the person listening the whole time. They could just sit the phone down, and I can just blather into the ether. A great man taught me that. I was wondering, why did he tell me the story about how he allegedly did something that was terrible over 5 hours twice, back to back, for 10 hours? For 10 hours, I'm listening to him on the phone. He's using some sort of control magic to make me do that when I ordinarily shouldn't. And I was kind of fascinated that he was doing that at all, but I didn't care about the details. He thought that I was with this woman who was a secret cop because I knew she was, and she had busted me and she was controlling me. No, I was with her because I loved her. I don't believe that there was a secret cop, and if there was, it was a joke. And then I'm not a secret paladin. I'm a paladin, and I'm not a cop. I don't believe that I'm a deputy secrets paladin, but if I am, it's a secret, which I promptly tell everybody about. And that means that it can't be really officially confirmed. So I'm either, yes, a deputy, but not a real one, or I'm the only lawman left on the entire planet, which is pretty cool if my name was Roland, but it's not. Now, Grayford Actual and I loved Dark Tower. We loved Twin Peaks. Oh, David Lynch died. Wow. How come Grayford Actual can't call me and talk to me about David Lynch? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because she's busy at work. Yeah, she's busy. She doesn't have to talk to me. I love her. I wanted her alive and out of my hair. I wanted her children, her whole family, to know that rather than walk out on her and cheat on her and give up in despair, no, I saved her life. They're not all entirely convinced it's for the best, because apparently killing her and putting her into a new body, I guess that's a fast way of getting around the express line at the Wendy's. No. Nobody told me that this woman was that way. I mean, I kind of figured things out, but there was a certain vagueness to what was going on. To this day, I still don't know what happened. There was nothing vague, however, about the contempt that was displayed when this woman began to realize what my aim was, which was get her to show me where the fucking trafficked asset was and where the fuck Tammy was. I wasn't supposed to know Tammy was around. I wasn't supposed to know she was having sex with her. I wasn't supposed to know Tammy was alive. Tammy wasn't supposed to know that I was alive. Grayford Acid was in a pickle, and the reason why she was because somebody had misled her through mind control techniques to put her into an unwinnable position, they thought. Well, she's winning. And she's going to have winnings, and she's in an unwinnable position for her, but from my position, it's an easy thing to do. All she has to do is just bend the knee and call me. This she cannot do. Quod demonstratum, she cannot win. Therefore, the unknowing, unseeing, unthinking, unfeeling eye of Sauron and the plans of the satanic ritual agenda for homosexual purveyance or whatever, it doesn't pay attention to her because she's off in the negative zone. She's dead yet not dead. She's alive yet not alive. Nobody trusts her. They don't know what's going on, but they know that I love her. I'm not lying. If I'm lying about Grapefruit and I'm secretly trying to destroy her, 800,000 screaming Chinamen will boil out of the fucking ocean and rip me from limb. Because that woman is truly, truly beloved by many people. A lot more than $800,000 or 800,000 people. And they never brought her Twitter account back. And why? Okay, I don't know exactly why, except I'm not surprised people want to kill her. She's a huge pain in the ass. That's what I love about her. And this being the first time she's ever been caught this bad and had to rely on a man this much, with no help from her family, who also hates me and maybe not dead or not. I don't know. The Algonquin people are not used to this kind of treatment. They're very proud. I know why. They're amazing. They don't like the way that I've handled things. Fair. I don't like the way I've handled things either. However, I will, if it ever comes up, I will point out to them, well, maybe you shouldn't have put me in fucking jail for Christmas, fucktard, and then not giving me my nebulizer, and then what else did you do? What happened to the pigeons? Like, they haven't answered one question. They shouldn't have to. They don't have to, actually. Right to remain silent. I can see they feel bad about fucking up. They don't usually fuck up or have to be held to account. And they don't want to talk about it. I don't blame them. It's nightmares. It's bad what has happened. And from their point of view, it's only getting worse because they can't have the kind of certitude that I have. I see it as things are finally coming together. It's going to be awesome. They're not yet convinced, and they won't be until they see concrete results. What those concrete results consist of, I don't know, because they all have individual lives and such, and then I don't see them individually. And my telepathy isn't that great. And then they didn't make much of an impression on me beforehand. They wrote me off as just some idiot that she was fucking to get my benefits so that I would protect her from the law. Thinking that must be what a paladin's for. Oh, no. I don't protect her from the law. I protect her from demons. Or maybe I don't. Depends. I don't do a whole lot of protecting while I'm in jail for Christmas while somebody else is fucking her. And she's got 8 or 9 secret girlfriends. They get together and sacrifice male dick to the altar of lesbianism, and they laugh about how Jack Star Michelson is never going to figure things out. Jack Star Michelson, what an idiot! No, sweetie, no. Actually, I'm your lifeline. That's fine. Lifeline, half-life, whatever the fuck. You're really a gang of totes lesbo, cauldron bubbling witches. You eat flesh. You're 3 steps away from Leatherface, so that's fine. I like that. And then you're safe because this is all a ride, and then you go back and forth to the future. However the fuck you got here. I get it. It's confusing to discover that real life is a lot more matrixy than you might think. And then these are the end times, and it is after 2012. And yeah, Art Bell is either dead or not alive. And everybody on BellGab, not so friendly to Jackstar anymore, huh? I'm no longer so cute. I'm no longer the class pet. I'm no longer your little clown. I'm no longer your little shish kebab. I'm not your babushka, right? Yeah, I never was, you dumb fucks. You actually thought that? Oh, because she was a dingbat. And then you assumed that since I loved her, I must be a dingbat too. And then you assumed that you just raped me again or whatever. You're used to being in charge of people that you think are dingbats. You see sexual problems develop in the people that you've been grooming, and you think, ha, that's what they get for being straight. They should turn to Satan. Meanwhile, I'll take all the dope and then laugh at them, and I'll take all their girlfriends because I can energetically change things on the fly because I'm a man who's got the wizard power. Now I'll suck some dick. Click. That's kind of the ingoing egocentric refrain of the male homo fag really used to be. I don't know what they do anymore. I don't have any problem with people who want to be gay. People who are gay, that's fine. Born that way, whatever. They choose to go to engage in homosexual relations. I'm very open and compassionate about that because that's one less competitor for me on the heterosexual dance floor. And the fact that most of the heterosexual females don't notice because they're all being groomed by ape lords from North Africa. Oh wow, who could have seen that coming? Wow. Why don't you go complain to the Jews who fucked up the whole education system? Like, none of this is on me. I was taken out of the game at 15 and a half, and my sex life has been mostly miserable ever since, punctuated by brief bouts of happiness that have uniformly been turned to mush by people who reassert control over the trafficking system and then immediately start gooning and getting rid of my friends because they don't want to see me happy. Because they think that my desire for cheap and easy sex and drugs has led me to corrupt that woman that they love so much. I didn't corrupt her at all. She was brain controlled into doing something terrible. And rather than ask me what happened, she just believed that something was true that wasn't. And then rather than follow her up and say, why won't you call me back? Why won't you call me back? Instead of doing that, I just simply waited for something to be told to me that was an indicator for me to let that go. Strawberry harvest moon, full moon ritual. I find out through the horoscope column in the paper. I find out if you've got a twin flame that's not working out, this is your chance to take a portal to get a new one. I could have gotten a new one, right? But I couldn't call her. And the reason why I couldn't call her is because her husband or whoever the fuck, this gang of dudes, they didn't want me to talk to her under any circumstances because she was dead and alive and dead and alive. And they didn't want me to know that. And they also didn't want her to know that I was alive. They just told her that she'd never see me again and to let her talk to me at all, let alone let her escape from the boundaries of my twin flame bounding. Twin flame doesn't mean what anybody thinks it does. Don't worry about it. I wanted to get a new one. They wanted me to keep being fixated on her. They being the inner circle of trust at bellgab.com. Sister site asgab.com. Only on BellGab and Asgab do you find exclusive content that can't be found on LGab. And then LGab, what the fuck's happening there? Yeah, okay, don't look too deeply. Trust me, Interpol is already freaked out. And I sort of know about it, but I haven't really wanted to talk about it or think about it because it's disgusting. I'm not really part of them. I'm just sort of, I'm like Gulliver. They tied up their little ropes to me and then thought that I'd be a sleeping giant. I'm still sleeping. It's a fucking nightmare for them. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And it doesn't have to be. I can just decide to do something differently, or Grapefruit Actual can call me and bend the knee. This she cannot do. Primary reason now is she can't possibly believe that I'm going to love her anything close to the way I used to love her, because she can't believe that I've been loving her the whole time. Her mind can't wrap her head around that concept because she's been spending a whole lot of time sucking everybody else's dick while high on drugs that I never even heard of and never invited me and laughing at me the whole time. She openly mocked me at the notion that I might think that I was worthy of getting fellatio. Ha ha, you think you're going to get blown? Ha! Yeah, she openly done that 3 or 4 days before the ambush. So I could tell that something was, change was afoot in the air, because she was getting raped by dudes who were pumping her full of control drugs and telling her that I was a worthless waste of time and that she needed to give in and then turn over to the dark side with them. Although I'm sure they didn't call themselves the dark side, they just called themselves, we're the government, you gotta do what we say, bitch. Take my cock. We're gonna rape you now. Now you're a smack whore. Yeah, that's what they did. The DEA. By any means necessary, it's their job to keep these Native American superhuman fucking lords of destruction under control. And the way they did that was with their dicks and with controlled magic soap and the MK Ultra program and Mossad. Okay, now they don't do it at all. I don't know what they do, but I've decided to liberate all such examples of that kind of behavior. And looks like all the police are kind of busy working on preparing for their own defense after eventually being exonerated at trial. Well, they'll probably get it over with in a couple of weeks. They'll probably push it through because it's very important to protect ways and means. And wow, let's be reasonable and understanding. None of these people really knew what was going on, and they truly thought that the Native American people were soulless animals. Even if they are, the Constitution still affords them rights. Also, I'm not a soulless animal. Neither am I a nigger. Mysteriously, everybody in town suddenly started calling me a nigger and acted like I owed them something and I needed to get a job and I needed to stop being a sorcerer in my haunted church with water rights that I had paid for. Although apparently it wasn't my money. Apparently it was her money. Apparently they were taking everything and they believed that I had let them down some way. This is typical of people who don't understand how contracts work. She thought that I loved her unconditionally, and that meant without fail, with no conditions, I would rescue her from every kind of mess she made for herself. And she's right, I have. My way. Given that the circumstances, the mess she made for herself. I don't know what she thought, but she apparently thought that calling me a hunga gunga nigger and laughing at me while having a relationship with my girlfriend from high school, who had never actually broken up with me while being trafficked. Apparently she thought that was a good idea. I guess it was, because I certainly learned what happened when that happens. Wow, special consequences get pretty special. And in no other way would I be so certain. I absolutely love that woman. I can see why she did that. I can see how she was misled. When she finds out the truth, number one, wow, that's just what happened to her karmic twin pair in high school. She was lied to, and then undoubtedly forgave me as soon as she found out, and then they killed her. Now she's in heaven looking down, and then her other past life self is in the far-flung future using a stolen time machine. They can't get together because there's a missing piece. A dead person down here who can't remanifest because she's afraid. I guess the Department of Justice has some questions for her. Yeah, I fucking bet. Yeah, they don't want to ask me probably because they're afraid I'll tell them the truth. They won't know what to do then, and also because somebody's been telling them to make the investigation end up with me being guilty, which you would say would typically not be very justice-like. But it's funny what happens when the U.S. DJ is involved, and mind control drill, and megalomania, and this is one hell of a story, folks. I can't talk about it directly. I would like to. A little bit more than I do now. I pretty much talked out about it, though. And there's court cases coming up involving people I've never met. I want them to go well. Chris Wyatt, I did not know Chris Wyatt was missing his family that way. Something has happened, and something has happened to the degree where he thought that the best thing to do was to continue openly mocking people and imply that they were just complaining because they had hurt feelings. I know he's not talking about me. I'm not complaining because I have hurt feelings. I don't have feelings anymore. And then I don't know if Chris Wyatt actively hates me or if it's just his Jewish prejudice coming out. But apparently Chris Wyatt thinks that Jews are better than anybody. And he doesn't think very highly of me, or he pretends to. I don't know if he's accidentally letting it slip out, or if it's programming, or if he's upset about something I haven't found out about yet. He's probably upset that I laugh at him when his family dies. Like, I didn't know exactly what happened because he wouldn't talk about it because he was calling over the phone, and he didn't want to get picked up as a guy who is a suspected time traveler, because apparently time traveling and then making a bunch of money in the stock market and dipping out of reality. I guess that's illegal. At some point, the DOJ doesn't announce that they have time travel, but they do announce that they figured out how to capture people who manipulate the stock market. Anyway, Chris Wyatt used to have the world at his fingertips. He still does. It's just a different world than here. And then, good, you got your family back? Cool. Hey, where's Grapefruit? Does she still always have ball grab? Hey, what was going on with that? Hey, where's Allie? Where's this one? How come you been treating me like garbage? Do you really think that I'm fat? Well, compared to you, I'm surprised you think that I'm fat at all. I think that compared to you, I'm probably pretty thin. Oh, and by the way, you're fat, fucker. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, are you sensitive about? Oh my God, you're gonna break it on the keyboard? Oh, is that how you lost your wife? You broke a keyboard, or did you just break your wife? What happened? And was your daughter sucking your dick or not? Oh, what? Click. Oh, he swallowed his tongue. Oh, that's the kind of attitude that Chris Wyatt doesn't appreciate. And on Memorial Day, especially, that is one of the most insulting things to say about anybody ever. So I'm going to say it about Chris Wyatt one more time. Dude, you're a big pussy. You accidentally fucked up, and then you blamed me instead of taking accountability for your role, and then you left me alone to die, and you figured that'd be a good idea, and then years later you're surprised I'm still around? Dude, fuck you, Jew nigger. I'm the fucking fail-safe. I'm just going to invest heavily in kryptonite so that later on, when Tyler Durden makes all these skyscrapers explode, I can blame it all on Clark Kent. Then I'll take his suit and his wife, and then I'll pee on his magic suit, and then he won't be Superman anymore, and everyone will know Jewish supremacy is real. Tee-hee, mazel tov. That's not at all dissimilar to the megalomaniacal fantasy that all Jews have, where Jews believe they're actually good and are going to defeat everybody. No. That's what happened in the last world that they were in, where they didn't make the cut, and as punishment, or as some would say, remedial school, humans and Jews are forced to live together because they both need to help each other. Number one, Jews need to learn how to help others than just themselves once in a while, and humans need to learn why everybody hates Jews. It's not a very hard lesson to learn, but typically everybody's convinced by others, the jinn, that rather than figure this puzzle out, they should just ignore God entirely, repudiate the Christ, and concentrate on making each other dead based on skin color while they harvest everybody blind. I'm surprised that humanity hasn't figured this out collectively, what to do about this, but I can see now how Earth is difficult to manage when you're not a source titan who's in love with creator God energy. I love the goddess and the god. I don't have to worry about which one is going to win the patriarch battle and the matriarch battle. I love Samara. If it was at all possible, I would drop everything and just run to her and say, oh my God, let me fuck you for years while we put it on OnlyFans and make tons of money, and I'll tell you the secrets of the universe, and then we'll only distribute it in Islamabad, and then we'll go after the Ayatollah and take his eyeballs. I could make all this happen. That's every girl's dream who's living in an Islamic country who doesn't want to deal with it anymore. I wish the paladin would come and save me. Fuck yeah. I could go in there like fucking, like Roger Moore. Dum, 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 dum. I could do that. I'm not going to. For one thing, I love Allah, and I've not been asked for another. Have you seen what those fucking sand diggers will fucking do to you? Oh man, God, I can't make it. I could barely tell that joke. If there's anybody listening, they'll be like, hey, did Jexter just call it sand diggers? No, Haji, we're fine. And the reason why I can say that is because I do love those people in the way that they're appropriate to be loved. And they're not exactly human the way Jews and others are. It's a different kind of structure. Allah has a way of sucking out the minds of people who aren't jarheads and making them into jarheads. And then this is because the way Islam works is that it's a security system to prevent reality from folding in on itself when people start raping and killing and pillaging and murdering and being all kinds of gay after Satan has fucked off the homosex agenda for centuries. Well, the perfect plan for God's creation has been ruined. We need to have a reset. That's not going to be by flood, as is the promise of the rainbow. It's not going to be by fire either. It's going to be by, oops, death by Smoochie and Jackstar combined. What? Did Fry turn on the recombobulator? No, whatever the fuck was going to happen. I seized the reins of power several weeks ago after the umpteenth time that somebody decided to jam me up and make me fall in love with somebody and then whisk them away and then laugh at me while they showed me tapes of them fucking or something, some kind of fucking thing like that. Somebody's got the idea that if they humiliate me enough and they have sex with people who want to have sex with me, I'll eventually get the message and I'll stop not working and I'll start fucking who they want me to fuck so they can keep on fucking the super magical unicorn that they've been hiding for years. They've got all kinds of people that want me. Where's Jackstar, they wonder? Where I am is right where I'm at, but those people have been isolated from me. It's a cellular network, and the military that hates humans competes against the military that loves humans. And then both of them are both fucking morons, since they heard that Jackstar was ambushed and they didn't immediately find out what happened. No, they assumed they knew what happened. what happened was I found out that somebody wants to have sex with me. That rather changed things because I wasn't really concerned about it so much. But then when I found out that the Customer Prophecy was freaking out about that, I realized, oh, that's cool because I did tell the person that I was going to do that. I guess they must have thought I was joking. And then when they found out that it was real, I guess they thought they were going to stop that. No, because if it's destined and she's afraid of it happening, that means it did happen. And that means that somebody's trying to move me off a timeline that actually exists that I've been on before. And then I'm not going to be where I'm going to be. And then somebody's trying to replace me. This doesn't work for a variety of reasons. Number one, people know me. Number two, man proposes, God disposes. Number three, sounds like some sort of Jewish script. Number four, it usually doesn't happen that people try that hard, right? So what's different this time? Oh, number five, in the future, somebody else who had been destiny swapping accidentally loses his wife and family since he couldn't swap them the same way. And then I guess he went to swap them and then he turned them into atoms and he went through the one-way portal with only himself, killing his entire universe. I don't know. It must have been really sad. Yeah. I don't know how that gets repaired, but it does get repaired. I didn't do any of that, but I did laugh at the man. He calls me up weeping and crying, and he wants a shortcut to get out of his trouble. And instead, I giggle at him and laugh at him and tell him what he should have known and does know and is denial about. And then I haven't talked to him much before that, or really ever since. And then last time I saw him was on YouTube yesterday, where he was seemingly exultant and mocking somebody for being a total nobody who doesn't count for anything, and it just has his feeling hurt. No, my feelings aren't hurt anymore. I don't have any feelings. And Chris Wyatt must be really confused. Because clearly he's obviously told everybody what he knows about me. And everybody has said to him, yeah, don't worry about it, we'll handle it. Nobody's handling me. Nobody. The reason why they told him that they would handle me is that they handled me by putting me in a position to take him out. That's typically what people do with raging beasts that are trapped into a china shop with a stallion that seems to be mutated into an ox bull or whatever. I mean, it's a messy problem, so just leave them alone together and maybe they'll kill each other or else teach each other to behave. Nobody really imagines that I'm going to fucking win every fucking head-to-head matchup at the Final Four and then take over the entire galaxy with the help of God and Sorcerer. Jesus Christ. I did tell people that. I guess they thought I was joking. God and Jesus Christ came to me in a dream and asked me for help, and I said, sure. What do you need me to do? Be a sorcerer. Let us see how well you do. What? Tell me more. Well, we want you to volunteer to be that, but with our auspice, because that way you could be free from making any mistakes, because since you don't want the power, that makes you ideally suited to having it. So you're going to give us part of your soul, and then we're going to create a situation for you where if you do make a mistake, we can help you, and then you don't have to worry about making the wrong decision, because we guarantee you, God and Jesus Christ, just give us a little bit of your free will soul, and you can have it back if you want it. And as long as you give us your soul, you're a sorcerer. You'll find out more later. I said, sure, sign the deal. Boom. That's all I fucking know about being a sorcerer, or at least all I do that. So that I promptly wake up and I start babbling to the woman who's been telling me that she's a shamaness and she's related to fucking whatever. And she doesn't like that I'm a sorcerer. She acts like I'm a threat. Because at that point I was a threat. She was secretly doing drugs. She was secretly having sex with people who I wanted to do drugs and sex with. And I wasn't understanding why people were laughing at me and thinking I was stupid. They thought I was an idiot who couldn't figure things out. No. I figured things out and I realized, okay, it's either this or this or this. And if it's this, oh, well, then we get sudden special circumstances over time. And then at some point, somebody toddled this woman off to Buffalo, and she actively went too far and activated the Kraken, basically. She created a situation where I could manifest Krakatoa Part 2, the Lesbo years, and I did. And instead of being destructive, I'm loving. I'm demonstrating strength of purpose and discipline of power and purity and great goodwill and great bonhomie. And I'm saving people that none of you will ever hear about because they're saved. And how this actually happened, you're not going to hear about it at all until I tell a story. That makes sense. Everything that I've been allowing myself to be recorded saying, oh, does none of it make sense? Does your machine learning reading algorithms not work anymore? I wonder why. Do I sound like a babbling idiot? You're goddamn right I do. Oh, does Chris Wyatt not have any capacity to explain why he's mad and why he feels bad and doesn't know how to apologize? Oh, is Africa in flames? Is there a problem there? Oh, who could have seen that coming? Hi. I'm not here to help you. I'm here. And all of you have been shitting on me for years. And then, well, please don't do that anymore. And here's why. Oh, does the whole world know? Cool. I guess it's not a secret. Yeah, I'm level 0. Fuck you. What level are you? Douche? Douche or douche max? Whatever fucking level you are, you're going to handle that after Divine Court has its way with you. Oh, remember that you said Divine Court's not real and it doesn't matter? Oh, it's just some human institution? Oh, Jackstar's just a schizo. No, fucker. Dude, I can't believe I had to do all this stuff, but I guess it was the only thing that would convince Grapefruit that I really was worth her time. Because before me, she thought all men were shit and she was a total lesbo. Then she met me and she's like, wow, I like to fuck him and he's stupid enough and I'm not scared and he seems, I'll probably be able to let him trick me. Yeah, she thought she was going to keep Tammy, and she could have. Instead, she kept it all a secret and then lost everything, and then they were both captured by men who raped them and kept them apart, and now they can't have me or each other, and they've turned on each other, and they hate everything about life, and they've become more miserable than they've ever been before, and they have to pretend that that's not happening because it's all just a fantasy. That's not Algonquin justice. That's not even justice. That's what happens when you piss me off. Nothing to do with having oral sex. It's everything to do with having power. Is there any doubt that I know what I'm doing about things? Good, because I didn't think there was any doubt. I didn't know that people were humoring me and thinking it was stupid. You think I wanted drugs? Really? Well, I did, and then I discovered that my lover was murdered and replaced by a cutting robot duplicate who was acting all weird. And then other stuff happened that didn't explain, and then nobody would explain to me what was happening, and then nobody was answering the critical question was, okay, so here's what happened to Tammy. That's weird. I mean, obviously they should have known about something, and then considering the timing, that should have been, but instead of acting like they had something to tell me and that I was a trusted friend, they acted like they were suspicious of me and that they were going to deal with me later. I noticed this like first day. I thought they were cute. They still are cute. I love them. It's amazing what people can do when they know what they're doing. They're not gone and lost. It was the plan of some people to just turn them into organs. Instead, they're running around being miserable. I don't know, maybe they're panhandling. They're not having the kind of time they thought they were going to have. They thought they were going to steal from me and get away with it. No, sweetie, no. No, that's what you do to your other hood rat bitches in your fucking level of reality. When you fall so far that you think that Jackstar Michelson looks like a good fucking snack for you to fucking do your spur game on, and then you get to the point where you're throwing death curses at me, you marvel that they bounce off of my psychic kinetic shielding, which you thought was bullshit, and you figure that I'm a cute novelty, and then you don't tell me all this stuff that I needed to know, that everybody who was listening to you did know, because that's what sex pred teams do. They find out what points of vulnerability are in the relationship, and then they attack them relentlessly with overwhelming force. Yeah, that's what they did. I don't want to say kudos, because it's an ugly process, and this one was no worse. But sometimes it takes a lot to remove a codependent person from another. And those people thought they had their hooks in to be pretty good. They didn't have their hooks into jack or squat except each other. Additionally, there was a Hydra dragon spirit that was running the whole show. Jesus killed it. Essentially, their entire fucked up complex coping mechanism was being dismantled, as well as the realization that they've been kept hostage by idiot white Americans for way too long. And that here was Jackstar, Hungarian American, giggling at him and not giving a shit that they weren't uncomfortable or comfortable. I don't know how I can help them anymore right now, other than either honor their memory. Hey, it's Memorial Day. Does anybody remember you? Yeah, of course everybody remembers you. And also, everybody remembers you all as being the group that thought I was going to be easy to deal with and ended up not being so fucking easy to deal with, am I? No. Do you know why? Well, number one, you lied to me at all. Number two, my money is your money? Really? So why did I get cut off? Oh, because of that guy. Oh, what's he doing? Wow, that's fascinating. What about the other guy? He stole bodies? Oh my God. So now he has no brain and he's in a hot body and y'all want me to fuck him? Okay, but that's a dude in a girl's body. Okay, so when that gets remediated, I'll talk to him, but trust me, my relationship with people isn't based on what body they're running, it's based on souls. And if there's a guy who knows how to steal bodies, I need to know how that's done, because I bet he's embarrassed and he'll be thrilled to know. No, I'm not going to turn him in. I'm going to giggle at him. This guy could fucking teleport and steal bodies and fucking make potions out of thin air and shit. He's not used to getting giggled at. He's used to people calling him Satan. He's not Satan to me, he's my friend. And yeah, MK Ultra mind control. Not the best thing to do to a Native American royalty that's being killed by the military as bound subjugate chattel for way too long. And because I love freedom and my country, instead of nuclear Holocaust Armageddon, it's going to be a gentle lesson that most people will forget. And all they will remember is Jack Starr set things straight, and nobody knows how or why, but we do know, we want to believe it's because he loves us. And it is. I fucking love you way more than anybody else. And that's a promise you're not going to get from Georgie Lucas. Okay? And then, of course, God loves you. That's why God let me become a sorcerer. Of course I did well, but was I going to like doing it? Nobody knew. I didn't know that I could become a sorcerer. When I read about such things, I found, wizards are the things that DARPA uses. That's like tank dudes. They're like tank commanders who have like a battle mage on the bottom. And then a sorcerer is somebody who, well, it's complicated, but there's two different kinds, and I realized instantly, oh, wow, okay, so I would want to be that one, but the trick is that if a person wants it, then the power is not available. And I didn't want to be a wizard. I wanted to be ecstatic with my dick. And then the thing about magic is it's very, very, very high investment cost, low payoff, unless you're willing to work for the Illuminati as being a bagman or something. There's not a lot of room for advancement in the world of magic because you find out quick. If you're looking to exploit Mother Nature to get ahead, you don't. And some people were. And those people have been harvesting humans off of Earth for 300 million years at an outside ballpark guesstimate. Yeah, that's really how it works, or at least how it did work. I don't know how it works now, but I do know that it didn't work very well for most people after 2012. Nothing really happened that people expected except a flying car got blown out of the sky, Art Bell went away, and there was a challenge for storytelling ownership. Operation Mockingbird took a strange turn, and a flying car came out of the sky and wiggled his wings at me and then flew away without picking me up, which meant that somebody who wanted me to do something for them got bored and frustrated with me and then flew away and waited for me to crawl out of Earth on my own. No, I don't crawl. I ponder. And I guess I took so long waiting for somebody to explain how the fuck they thought they were going to take advantage of me for 30 years. Like, what was their plan B? It's the afterlife. Hi, what did you do? What do you mean the afterlife? I thought there was no God. No, well, you're wrong about that too. And then God can't save you now. Hi, I'm Jack Starr. You lied to me. What the fuck? These people do not want to deal with this. And I don't want to deal with it either. But since I'm doing what I must in order to do the things that I can at all, people who have been trying to kill me and take my shit for years and years and years, they get an extra heap and helping of God's wrath. None of this affects my Algonquin family. I love them. They are innocents. They are absolutely as pure as the virgin snow. And the reason for that is because they've been purified and washed. Because those people who met me, they were lied to. Somebody told them things about me that weren't true. Somebody told them that I was retired Special Forces. Holy fucking shit, do I fucking sound retired? Fuck no. Or also, I'm not Special Forces. I'm clerical services. I'm just a priest. Except I'm not a priest. I'm not a priest at all. Now I'm a fucked off anti-fucking crazy pagan who used to be a Christian, best friends with Jesus, loves Pope Frank and probably got him killed, and then spoke very kindly to Pope Leo yesterday. And that's fine because I'm not Pope. I'm not a Catholic. And both the Catholic Church and I are effective. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shits going on. Do you know what? I'm probably not in the mood to fucking talk about it to any great detail. Do you know why? I've been explaining to you stuff in detail for a long time. And apparently none of you want to do anything besides give it to the computer who can machine read your algorithms and then get the summary report back. And then you and your buddies could just figure out how to destroy my life and always end up in bed with my women and watching me on TV alone crying. I could have gotten a new twin flame. Instead, somebody who I assume was related to Chris Wyatt in some way forced me to stick with the one that I had, who turns out was Tammy. Now, it didn't have to be Tammy. It could have been Wendy. Could have been this one. It could have been Karen. The truth is, they were all tied up because every single one of them had a shitty experience with me. And when they get to heaven, they find out, oh, he was the most loyal man in the entire history of the universe, and we shit on him. Why did that happen, God? Well, thanks for asking, little girl. Here you. Let me send you back in time, and then you can fucking deal with your fucking life again. And then don't bother me while I'm watching Jack Star. I want to see what happens next because nobody expected me to be good at being a sorcerer. Nobody expected me to be effective at being a boyfriend. And no one thought that I could possibly forgive any of these people. No, not only do I believe that they had murdered her, I'm sure that they love her. She's hot as fuck, and she's a siren, and she's an MK Ultra battle slave, and she was trafficked by time travelers who came back from the future to get my baby batter And she was so fucking insane that she thought she looked 16 and had never had sex before, and that she was going to tell me a story and I was going to fall for it, and then she was going to use control magic to make me in love with her when I already was, and I was going to listen to her tell me telepathically, hurry up and rape me, you stupid nigger. Methinks the lady doth assume too much, because it was at that moment that I realized that there was a good one, evil one, and a normal one, and for some reason they were all overlapping in my high school. And as far as I can remember, that was the first time I had been there. So she has a triple time loop. I'm in high school wondering where I get weed and why it's such a big deal. And I had a lot of problems. Nobody has helped me with any of them except for God and Jesus Christ. Others tried to help, but they were kind of snotty about it. And then somebody else who was able to help didn't get a chance to help. She got trafficked and killed, and then brought back as a zombie clone, who by now is pretty pissed off because she thinks that I need to save her. No, she needs to service me. She's a fucking robot clone, and yeah, she's alive. That's what happens when people get a taste of my dick. But that doesn't mean that she gets to just treat me like garbage. Oh no, she needs to treat me like with respect. I mean, she doesn't know how to treat somebody with respect, especially not somebody she's terrified of, because she thought I was an idiot. She thought I was overwhelmed with joy for her body. I am. That doesn't mean I put her with her bullshit. She's trying to call me over and over and over to get me to give her money so that she can go get drugs, so she can have sex with somebody else who somehow manages to shapeshift so that she looks like me, so she can scratch the itch of, oh, by the way, you're supposed to have sex with Michael Kuzi. Where have you seen him? Yeah, she hasn't seen me in months, but she's been being trafficked by other people, and her job is to go back in time and then have sex with me, and then leave. Instead, she's been trafficked yet again. I don't know what she's doing, but she's freaking out. Everybody's freaking out. Their whole criminal conspiracy has come crashing down like the end of Fight Club, except better. And it's all because of me. And my wild hair up my ass in the mood fucking show you a fucking lesson, because this is like the 8th or 9th time I've done anything at all when I shouldn't have to do anything except get paid, get a new name, move to a new location where there's girls there who like me. Instead, some gang of fuckheaded fag lord fucking white supremacist fucking human traffickers figure they're going to starve me out. They're going to lay siege to me. He's just one man. How he's not a paladin. He's not a man of God. He's insane. We'll just do it. We'll just do some old-fashioned hard learning. We're going to teach him some manners. We're going to introduce him to some Mennonites, and we're going to trick him in a lie. No, I fucking love Mennonites. They're serious business. I wouldn't fuck with them. And I didn't. I engaged in commerce with them. I turned down their baked goods. I did not slave her over the wife. I'll be happy to see them again. If they ask me questions, I'll tell them all the fucking high-level clearance shit I know, and the Mormons can fucking get ready for me to drive down to Utah, and I'll fucking start harvesting free loose gingers and start leaving fucking bastard babies throughout the whole fucking state. Not that I'm really going to do that, because, well, that might baby Mitt cry. But that's the kind of thing I can do now because, apparently I'm the only man on the planet with a working dick who likes gingers. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know what the reality is, because reality hasn't collapsed for me yet. I'm still dealing with the reality of her fucking kid works for the WHO and he can't fucking give me a fucking update on what's happening. Wow, I wonder why that is. Oh, is it because he thinks it would be bad if I knew? Wow, I wonder why he thinks it would be bad if I knew that they're in danger. Oh, because he's hoping to get rid of me. He wants to be saved, but he wants it to be done by anybody but me. And that's too fucking bad. There's nobody else who can do it, and everybody else would have killed his entire family. For damn good reason. They're fucking annoying as fuck. However, they're my annoying as fuck. And that's where we are these days. I figured all this out months ago, if not years ago. I didn't really talk about it openly. This is pretty open, right? Is this word salad? Is this thing on? Am I broadcasting? I'm laying in bed with my pants down around my ankles, with my glistening penis exposed to I don't know where the cameras are, but it doesn't matter. I'm not decent right now. I just masturbated. I just polluted my own body. I fornicated with myself. That's fine. I don't need to have sex with anybody else. I couldn't possibly relax. Like, I didn't know what the fuck is going on and what has happened. Fucking neighbor Shane tells me jokes about how the pigeons were suddenly hatching eggs at the same time they were being thrown out, and then she was surprised that she was getting thrown out. She thought she could stay here forever, and she could have, but after 4 months of getting trafficked by I don't know who, with neighbor Shane watching and giggling, I pulled the ripcord and had them all thrown out, which none of them thought I could do. Of course I could control my own house. They were so deluded that they thought that they were still having it, since they had the house before the show was there, and they tried to sell it to me as if they had never been here before. But living with spirits on an enchanted graveyard with paladin vision, I tend to get accurate stories from people once in a while. I don't know how exactly it works, but I have some great dreams. And yeah, they lied to me. They broke the terms of the trust. They don't have claim to shit. And they spent 4 years, no, excuse me, they spent 4 months dicking around at this place while out in the real world, a bunch of dudes in town tried to run game on me. And the entire purpose was for me to give up on Tammy. Because they wanted to fuck her too, and they weren't going to let me have her. So they figured they'd just, kill me. And that'd be simplest. Because if I wanted to fuck Tammy so bad, why can't I fuck Tammy in heaven? Well, number one, because I'm not in heaven. Number two, because, well, that's not Tammy. That's dead Tammy. And then number three, wow, you killed her in this fucking apartment or this house or this something. Or they made up a story. I don't know what the actual story is, but there was something going on that I wasn't supposed to find out about. Okay, so I found out about it. That's funny. I'm already at fucking nuclear Krakatoa, big kaboom, boom, boom. That happened in 1990. Nothing I find out now is going to hurt me worse than that. And also, nobody needs to explain to me why it was hard to figure out what's going on. Now that I know what's going on, I know it's hard to figure out. I see. Testimony to this is that I had to reprogram Satan, destroy the satanic homo-sex agenda, not have sex with a whole bunch of hotties. Just last night or yesterday, I went to town to get supplies. I got trespassed from the grocery store. So I went somewhere else, and then there I was polite, and then didn't like that girl. She didn't like me. And then I went to the other place, and then I stood outside smoking and writing, and then 2 people showed up who were obviously very magical and clearly impressed with me, and I was being allowed to see them. And then one of them I'm almost instantly sweet on. But that's just control magic. And then she doesn't actually want to have a real relationship with me. She wants to take advantage of me and then take the antidote to the mind control dope and then not be at work anymore. It's weird how some people take VR seriously and how some people are like Stephen Jeffries, who did too many pornos, and then where'd they go? Okay, so good actors are hard to find. Really good ones that just disappear, they put them in the Matrix, and the Navy uses them for purposes. And then the DEA thought they were going to teach me a lesson about doing too much stuff. Too much what? Too much what? Am I doing too much trafficking of humans? Did I beat up Sonny Boner too many times? Did I intercept my own mail and send it to fucking people who rape people and kill them and sell their organs for harvest? Yeah, so apparently whoever's in charge has been doing it wrong for a while. I don't really want to explain that to a court. I don't want to call 911 and explain, hey, you invaded my home 5 times and you left a bunch of incriminating evidence for somebody, and then you took away all my stuff, and then everybody's laughing at me because I'm asking where my motorcycle is. And then, hi 911, do you know that actually I am going to get it back because I said so? And if you're going to laugh at me some more, I'll just have to remind you that you're not under oath, but you might want to. Oh, you just hung up on me. Oh. Wow, I didn't know 911 was supposed to hang up on me. Okay, this is just a fantasy. Okay, thank you. This here concludes the days and nights of the rambling Mary Todd Lincoln. No, none of that is true, but I think you get the point. The point is, it's going to be fucking biblical Krakatoa. It already is. For some of you, life will never be the same. For others, life was never anything like you thought it was, and the person you blame that for is me. Mostly because whatever I've done, rather than being friendly and thanking everybody for being patient while grapefruit comes back. No, I'm kind of annoyed that it's been over 3.5 years. None of you seem to think that I was supposed to get laid. None of you seem to think that I have civil rights. None of you seem to think that I am human anymore. Wow, that is some pretty impressive spin doctoring. No, I assure you I'm human. I am a voice actor. I like making a big stink after some other people do. And then when other people made a big stink, well, that triggered further special consequences. And then I don't want to be doing this at all. That's probably why you should have given me money and written me out the thing and then let me grab somebody and then go. I was going to go to Missouri. I wanted to go to Deadwood. I wanted to learn to gamble. I wanted to learn to fly a motorcycle. I meant helicopter. Whatever, sorry. I'm getting dizzy. No, I don't do coke. And then people who do coke are fucked. I don't want to do coke. I don't want to do anything at all except win. And oddly enough, at the last second, mysteriously, these time traveler spurglors have been negotiating with the backroom inner dealings of the inner circle of trust of Belgab, still active to this day, and I don't have people from Elgab saying, hey, Jack, I heard you saved the world. Come hang out with us and make some posts. No. These people hate me. I did not turn out to be warm and fuzzy. I did not turn out to be fun to hang with. I did not turn out to be easy to control. I did not turn out to be a person who would be unwilling to sacrifice every single fucking member of Belgab to save one innocent child. When I said that I was going to rescue you from being sold for organ meat, I didn't just mean like once and you be an albatross. No. I'm rescuing you by teaching you how to bend the fucking knee. You don't traffic children. You don't traffic Art Bell's child. You don't kill Art Bell. You don't kill Ramona Bell. You don't steal his fucking inheritance. You don't fake his death. You don't fucking put drugs in his fucking thing. You don't fucking interrupt his plans. I don't know what the fuck they're doing at Area 51, but I don't know why Heather and Grapefruit had a fucking rivalry. I don't know why any of you don't want to fucking tell me this stuff because it's a fucking cool story, except for the way you must be all embarrassed that you were that fucking stupid. You're chasing a fucking mermaid who's actually a siren when she gets corrupt, and you let her lead you astray, and then you assume that all I'm good for is sex, drugs, and being a patsy. It never occurs to you that when I say I'm a sorcerer, I'm a fucking sorcerer. Doesn't it occur to you? Nobody wanted to fucking bend the knee? Oh, well, here's what happened. Everybody who believed in me, they got moved into Plan B, Matrix world, and then the AI manipulated the communications network, which was wide open thanks to Jack Parsons. Everybody who loved me is on Plan A, and everybody who hates me is on Plan B. And mysteriously, the computer makes it so they never connect, ever. Which is exactly what happened with Tammy and I. It's funny how the internet can be split. I don't know how this technology works very well, but I do know that it works. And so when I saw that was happening, I knew what was going to happen. I was going to fail. I was going to fail, and I was going to be allowed to live and lick my wounds and be laughed at because they enjoy the humiliation. And it's the old-timey Masonic belief that humiliating a man in public will teach him how to behave. Get that nigger. Okay, that used to work. I don't think it will ever work again. And it certainly doesn't work on me because they hurt my baby, and my baby asked for my help. And my baby believed that I was worthless, useless, not even good enough to blow, and that I had let her down and I was lying the whole time. For a while, I was walking on water. She was like, wow, this guy's so cool. Yeah, I am that cool. And then I guess I wasn't cool enough to talk to about her secret boyfriend or girlfriend or secret husband. Oh, I guess she had something going on, and then somebody killed her archangel coordinator and left her alone to be decrepit and crippled and broken down. I guess that's how archangels are trafficked. Seriously, my family is a big deal. I don't know what happened to make this all happen, but I guess it has something to do with the woman who said that she had been murdered in the future was asking for help. I guess she wanted something discreet. No. You come to Jack Michelson over the internet and you're dead and you're using Facebook and you're asking for help. Tee-hee. And you're not aware that I don't have to resurrect you to help you. I don't give a shit if you're alive or not. No, I'm not obsessed with your sex. You're obsessed with my sex. And I was obsessed with why you thought you were such a big fucking deal. I found out. It's because of grooming, which works entirely different than I thought it did. And then rather than anybody explain this to me in high school, they just kept on grooming for 30 years and then didn't bother telling me what was going on and thought I was an idiot as a result. No, I'm not stupid. I'm cautious. And that is why we're here today. Because I was careful to take the time to make sure I didn't make mistakes. And there were children involved. So the interaction between DEA, CPS, and the First Nations people of the United States of America who are kept as bound chattel slaves, it's a tense and dicey relationship at best. I wondered what the big deal was. Now I fucking know. Wow. I will write about a book about it, maybe. But the first thing is to secure the safety of the women and the children. Civilization, in other words. This is what I've been working on for 3 years while doing things in the most obviously wrong way possible, openly. No shame in it. Number one, it's not legal for me. Number two, no, you get a lawyer. Number three, why are you violating my rights when you haven't taken me to court about that issue? And then simultaneously, why you created false paper accusing me of other crimes? Is it to create a smoke screen so you get away with the probate fraud in probate court about Art Bell's will and testament that has my name in it, which nobody told me? Why is my name in there? Oh, well, that's a secret, right? And it's none of my business, and that's why there's a secret conservatorship, and the trust is being used to guard me. And then it was just simpler just to kill me, right? Simpler to kill me? No, it'd be simpler to suck my dick, you dumb fucks. But we're late for that. Not really interested in sucking my dick. You could try if you can even find me, or if you're even still alive. I don't know. What happened to Inner Reach? Oh my God. I have no idea. I don't know who these people were. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know why they suddenly showed up and appeared. I don't know who went to jail. I don't know what the DOJ was doing, but they sure shit were not calling me and saying, hey, Jack Star, we heard you're the man to know in this. Since you're such a great, loyal American citizen, I'm sure you're going to tell us everything over the phone, right? Tee-hee. No, that's not what DOJ does. They run just as much game as everybody else because they didn't like me either. They thought I was a troublemaker. I am. I make it stop. I make trouble stop doing things. I make trouble make something. I don't just run around and take advantage. I knew that woman was on a death sentence when she got into the fucking cab that showed up early, driven by a robotic Ethiopian. I honestly didn't think I'd ever see her again. I prayed to Jesus for help, keep her alive, let everybody know I'm a hero, and oh yeah, I need to get laid. I haven't gotten laid since then. I have not had a sex life at all since the Archangel was killed in 2018. I'm not sure exactly when. I don't want to think about it. Might have been 2019. My life has been under constant stress because the woman who used to be badass, she got taken out, and then I had to deal with her fucked off descended karmic twin pairs until the real one came back, and then they didn't show me the real one anymore because apparently I wasn't any good at protecting her. Yeah, I'm real bad at protecting people who lie to me and then have sex with other women and don't tell me and laugh at me and think they're going to kill me because I'm not gay enough. Well, he's not going to suck dick, so we're just going to not share him any magic. We're going to take away all his blessings, and we're not going to tell him anything, and he'll eventually figure it out, or we'll kill him and eat him. That's the Algonquin way, and we're lesbians, and we don't like his dick anyway. We're tired of him. Take him away. Get rid of him. He didn't turn out to be good. We don't like this one. Now we're going to go do the time where it began. That was kind of what was going on. In the midst of this, I was supposed to not know, and I was supposed to be paying child support, and I was supposed to get a job, and then everybody else was supposed to be trafficking women and drugs and getting away with it forever, just as the Native Americans were always meant by God to be doing. That used to be the political landscape in the Pacific Northwest. It is substantially different now. Every single one of these people who has just been caricatured by me, they're not really that bad. They're worse. Also, they all thought I was an idiot that didn't need to be kept alive or respected, and my civil rights meant nothing. Well, boo-hoo, la-di-da, cock-a-doodle-doo, motherfuckers! You're wrong. You're mistaken. I am at 27% battery. I don't know where Bailey Jane is, but she thought I was an idiot. I've been talking for 2 hours. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Hi, I'm Jack. I'm a star. I can see why my content is popular. I don't know who's hearing me now, but I know somebody's hearing me because I'm using the most insecure method ever. I'm in a haunted house at a fishbowl with my pants around my legs, drying semen on my glands, blathering at the ceiling while being pretty high, and I'm not having sex. I would rather be having sex. Mysteriously, I'm not allowed to have sex. It's so strange. I wonder why. I think it has something to do with some sort of fucked off idea that the commander of the armed forces, in this case, has under his belt. He thinks he's gotten away with something. He thinks people don't know what he's done, and he thinks that he can fix it later. No, he can't. He already fixed it plenty of times before, and then people know, and they didn't tell him, because the honorable thing to do when a commander fucks up is to let him run out of steam and then gently take him to the old folks' home, because if America's enemies are aware of how vulnerable certain programs are, it doesn't look good. That was what the problem was with the Kane mutiny. Humphrey Bogart, he's rolling the ball bearings in his hands, he's screaming out the strawberries. The men has to stage a mutiny to get the thing under control. The men should have known better and, on the DL, calmed down, maybe give him some Xanax. But no, they didn't like Queeg. It was weird. He was an asshole. Queeg didn't like them. I'm sure there was homosexual tension, and it ended up they're going to court-martial, and the whole thing comes out, and it's a fucking mess. That's the Kane mutiny. Fred McMurray is the guy who's the lawyer. He's like, I can't believe you gentlemen let the blah, blah, blah. This was the same thing, except nobody has done a mutiny against anybody. When I say send to the DEA, that's not a mutiny. That's exactly what needed to be done. And they weren't doing it because they were controlled by interdimensional beings that had penetrated masonry and spurglers from outside the country that were juicing up all our agents with fentanyl, controlled dope, and people who didn't like boys like me who didn't want to suck cock, women who didn't like boys like me who were hungering for their rapacious daughters, who are all, total fucking coke whores and shit. But because I'm a hetero, I'd have to be taught a lesson about how things work in the gay world, because that was the purpose of the satanic homosexual agenda. Not anymore, toots. Yeah, people are going to be gay. If people are going to be so gay that they're going to try and kill me and turn all my lovers against me by brainwashing them into believing that I'm an idiot, okay, at that point, I cannot coexist with those people, and steps need to be taken. I don't ask to tell me what steps I've taken. It's really kind of a numbing, mind-bending blur of stampeding and red haze that thankfully has calmed down some. I know how to manage my stampede. It's not an anger thing. It's when you sting a bull, he's going to be annoyed. When you sting a bull 85 times a day for 30 fucking years, when the bull finds out how to make it stop, that happens. Yeah. The indomitable will and indefatigable strength of purpose that I've been able to display hasn't been on display for most of you. It's been on display for me. People who have me under surveillance and watch me like a hawk. There's not that many of them. They're supposed to be compartmentalizing their shit. The gay mafia doesn't care. They're trying to unrun American society. And then they don't realize how all these laws fit together. They're not citizens the same way I am. I'd be happy with having a gay mafia. Oh, they were going to try and sacrifice me to make a name for themselves. Okay, they made a name for themselves. Wow, that was a dumb thing to do, Gay Mafia. Did somebody put you up to it, or are you just that fucking narcissistic? Oh, it turns out they are that narcissistic. I guess the DEA needs to change their strategy, because you can't take an agent and just make them a narcissist by turning up the gain on their fucking brain synapses with controlled dope over to maximum and then expect them to be effective at their job. They won't be. They'll just run around looking like, oh my God, is that a squirrel? Is that a squirrel? Does that squirrel have meth? Because that's how meth works. Most people don't know this. I don't know what they teach them in DARE, but they sure don't teach them anything useful. I don't know what happened to the DARE program, because I don't associate with people in public. Ever since I've been set up in a Box Canyon ambush on Christmas, people have been kind of skittish around me. Okay, so I've been skittish around me too. And then before that, I was really skittish because I was being stalked by Spurg lords who were using Native American forces to fucking kidnap me and take my house and take my money and laugh at me and kill me because I'm a nigger while they raped my family. Yeah, they're probably not going to get to do that for much longer. I don't know if they're still doing it, but if they are, well, hopefully they're brushing their teeth, and then somebody's mother can offer to take them in for a psych eval. I don't want to make a point out of who was wrong first, but yeah, I'm not a fucking wizard. I'm a sorcerer, and no, I don't want to make your salmon. I did think it was kind of rude how rude everybody was. Why was everybody so rude? Oh, now I know why. I know why now. Okay, thank you. I apologize for being rude in return. I did not mean to be, but I figured it was the only way to get your attention because you were all high as falls all of a sudden. Why did this happen? Where did all these drugs come from? Why is everybody getting juiced up with dope? Oh, because the DEA didn't know what they're doing. Oh, and then there was the other people, and then there was a rebellion, and then there was a minor kerfuffle between somebody and somebody else's chain of command, and I guess the people on Belgad thought they got rid of the problem by taking somebody and dumping them somewhere. Oh, when I found that out, I rehabilitated the Kraken and put it back to work. I didn't ask him for help or no cooperation. I just thought, they wanted to get rid of him. If the inner circle of trust of Belgrade wants somebody to be gotten rid of, I want heaping helpings of that person back. Since those people laughed at me and put me on the phone with a woman who was the daughter of somebody who thought I'd been dead and I hadn't talked to in 30 years. Belgap thought that was funny. You still think it's fucking funny, Butch? Who the fuck is Pandora, by the way? Oh, actually, I can't do know. And then what the fuck have you been doing? Oh, you've been investigating the Art Bell thing, and you've figured out that I must have had something to do with it. Because I was raped in high school, too. You're in denial about it. Oh, and did your investigation blow up in your face when it became apparent that you had ignored a whole bunch of leads and just had been blindly treating me like a suspect the whole time? Yeah, I guess that would have been Art Bell's secret weapon, because obviously the man had a backup plan. I don't know what anything about. I don't know. I don't know at all. I don't need to know. I've forgotten all of that. I wasn't here to fucking solve the Art Bell murder. I figured that somebody would get around to it, and I knew it would probably be a big deal, but I didn't think I needed to be personally involved because I had my own thing going on. The notion that it had been tracked back to something involving me, and then rather than ask me questions, they just laid back and waited because they didn't have authorization to talk to me, and they thought I was a suspect, and they thought I was a creep, and then my friend from high school was secretly telling them a bunch of lies about me that they never got checked because she's persuasive. That's what fucked off rape addicts will do when they're schooled by grooming gangs who thought they were onto the brilliant lead of a lifetime. We can get these two to get rid of each other. Perfect. This plan is foolproof. No. Your plan was no plan at all. It was a bully, thug, lunch money grubbing fucking smash and grab tactic. And all of you pissed me off in ways I will not describe at all, ever, without crying. I'm not struggling with my sadness. It's simply being set aside because, for one thing, I'm not this sad. I found out part of the problem and it fixed things on a level of reality that nobody understands, really. I barely do myself. Nonetheless, the whole fucking galaxy is pretty fucking glad I did it. Because now, you spurgling idiots can be, let to die or whatever and go to the light or whatever. And you can be reincarnated into another holding area that's like Earth but smaller, because now they've figured out how to make the firmament more permeable again, and then people are willing to understand that there was a firmament. The Brookings report is no longer quite so valid. People are prepared to accept a little bit of weirdness, but they were expecting Bluebeam. They weren't expecting Jackstar Unleashed. They weren't expecting that. They didn't know there was a Jackstar to be unleashed. They didn't know I'd be cool. They didn't know I'd be scary. They didn't know I wouldn't care. They did know about Dr. Manhattan, who was going to be blue, with a very tiny dick. And in a movie that was long, inscrutable, and really heavily veiled so that it wasn't just out there in your face what's going on. I haven't seen Watchmen yet, but Alan Moore is a genius. I forget who else is working on it. I remember Watchmen was being talked about by a lot of the people in the clandestine circles, because the movies and Hollywood itself is used as a vehicle of idea transmission for the masses to be taught what the elites want them to think. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it being controlled either, because life has a way of working that out. What was wrong was people expecting me to be a needle junkie word salad addict who's just trying to get attention. What kind of a moron fuckhead thought that was a good idea? Oh, somebody who was just a moron who wanted to get attention, who had forgotten that he had come to believe his own cover story and was a half wop, half kike, totally 100% spurged off dork who really, really needed to be taken care of. Yeah, I can see why nobody told me about him. Wow, it didn't occur to you? Oh, maybe you didn't know. Yeah, so that's what compartmentalization of information will get you. That's why Swishy and I are friends, but not friends. That's why all of you doing things to me, you're all forgiven. You don't really have a choice. And then you didn't really have a choice in the first place because that woman lied to you about everything. Yeah, it's not, this karmic jest is not my fault and it's not your fault, but it is up to you each to decide how much blame you assign yourself for thinking I was never going to be any good for anything so you could just take advantage of me and keep on taking advantage of me and then it would be okay. Is it okay now? Well, is it, punk? I don't think it's very okay right now. I'd like to go down into town and get laid. I can't. I'd like somebody to come up here and be nice to me. They can't. I'd like somebody to call me and tell me what's going on. They can't. Something will change. Something will give. And it's going to be good news because I'm not going to flip out and destroy the world. You fools already did that. And then I'm not going to go snap out and then attack some woman for sex. Oh, no. They're more likely to attack me. I don't need to chase after Poon. For one thing, I've had Poon. For another, I'm not the sex-obsessed Scorpio. And for another, the one who is a self-obsessed Scorpio is either dead or alive or in a state of quantum indeterminacy. And she's having a complete meltdown psionically because she's no longer able to get the drugs that she's been addicted to her whole life. And she doesn't want to tell people that she has no idea what to do. And she can't raise me on hailing frequencies because she's never talking to me. She was talking to some idiot pretending to be me and confusing her with hypnotic drugs. I wasn't dead and in heaven guiding her. No. I'm right across the street probably. She's probably living next door. I don't know. She's got a real important job in the future or in the past. And then, am I 5 minutes out of phase with normal reality or how does that work? Oh, well, never mind. You can't tell me because none of you know for sure. And number two, if you knew, you couldn't talk about it over the phone to me. I don't want to hear from you. I just want you to suck my dick, if anything at all. Isn't that weird how I used to be so nice and then I just roll into suck my dick, suck my dick, suck my dick? That's because I don't want to have my dick sucked. I don't want to be approached by women who think that sex is my key to my mastery. There's one woman who does think that, and she's right. So she should probably call me and bend the fucking knee and say she's sorry and say, I'm desperate to have your cock, please. That would get my attention. I'm desperate for her to have my cock, frankly. However, it'll be on my terms, or not at all. And yeah, it sounds a little fucking cutthroat, doesn't it? That's the radio broadcast industry in the United States of America on planet Earth, 2025. The most vicious den of thugs and vipers you can ever fucking imagine. I heard people saying that. I watched WKRP in Cincinnati. I love radio. I never knew just how low evil could get as the radio broadcasting industry. It's fucking vile. I can see why there's been problems. I'm very happy to say I'm not corrupted by it. I'm not lusting for the limelight. I think it's cool that I can do anything at all. I don't have a soul that yearns for radio. I have a soul that yearns to have a hug. And apparently somebody interacted with methamphetamine and siren magic and lust magic that was placed on a 15-and-a-half-year-old boy that didn't need to be put there. And that woman still hasn't had her cock. She thinks mine. She still can't have my cock, and then she used to say that she would never, and now she's turned around to desperately wanting it and can't do about anything about it because she's surrounded by her peers who will mock her and laugh at her. She admits that she's suddenly become overwhelmed with an insatiable desire for merman cock that she thinks is me, but she isn't sure because she doesn't know the difference between a siren and a mermaid, and she's been casting love spells at a man with reflective psychokinetic shielding, which apparently works pretty well at bouncing that shit back to sender. Apparently it's very effective. I don't know if all of that is true. However, it does make a lovely story to end up this long rant session with. I don't want to go on and on for too much longer. I'm starting to run out of water, and I want to sound like a crazy man. Also, I don't want to rub it in too much into somebody's face. I don't know the names or the identities of the people who want to have my cock. I know the names of a couple who are pretending like they do, but they're at work. They're paid money by the federal government to pretend like they're seducible. And maybe they are, but see, if they're working for the feds, that's not the same kind of relationship. And I have a certain order that I have to do things in. I don't mind doing it. And then I was expecting to get this over with in like 7 weeks. I remember thinking, should I pay $13,000 to a lawyer? Maybe I could see, is it worth it? If I could see grapefruit one day earlier, would it be worth $13,000? I did not pay $13,000. I did not hire a lawyer. I knew while I was thinking about it that I was just thinking as cover to blind the electronic eye that can look into the brainwaves of a person through the cell phone camera, which sounds like science fiction. No, they got that. They pick up brainwaves and they can map it to the syntax of a person, and they could get a vague idea of what the person's thinking about. And they would all assume that I wanted to see grapefruit again. You're goddamn right I wanted to see her again. I came home to an ambush. The bitch turns into a gorgon. Cool. Okay. And then she thought I was ineffective. Oh, well, no, I wasn't ineffective. She just wasn't interesting enough to save anymore. And if she expected me to save her forever, well, I have saved her forever. I've saved her on a disc, and anytime she annihilates herself again, I can bring her back up and say, hey, would you like to play a game, Professor Vulcan? Oh, hi, you're an Algonquin fairy queen. Isn't that cool? Oh, look at this. I know all kinds of stuff that she doesn't think I know, and I'm an emperor, which is a level of access to reality that she knows of but calls it something different, and thinks it has something to do with goddesses and demons and being respectful and gotta show respect and how she's actually a captive and she's on the run in 60,000 years. No, it's a whole bunch of details that have been mashed together, and in her head, well, there's only one like her. And I still love her. I'm mad at what's been done to her, and I'm mad at her for not knowing any better. Because she never got in this situation. She just told the fucking truth. Not one word out of her mouth was truth. Apparently she heard about special consequences of clergy, and her novel instinct for adrenaline rushes kicked in. And I guess she thought I was just an idiot she could fool. No, she didn't fool me at all. I mean, I didn't bother to wonder why she was doing stupid things. I just knew that they were stupid things, and she had to say that out loud because people were listening. It was a big deal. The family was a big deal. And then I knew that they were paying attention to me because I drove at high velocity from my house to the other side of the Puget Sound and started banging the chief's daughter willy-nilly and giggling all the time and talking about being a sorcerer. Actually, I didn't have it until later. I started wondering why everybody was acting so strange about me, and then I didn't really talk about my dead friend from the future who told me that she'd been murdered, but I figured that it was all going to come out in the end. It's a great movie, and I was right. So I've been on, not duty, but I've been aware of what's been going on for a while and being hypervigilant while watching people who probably killed my friend pretend they were getting away with doing drugs without me for 3 years and giggling at me. I've been pretty high the entire time, given that there's a contact high thing, and then they were getting high the whole time, and then I survived, and I figured there was some good reason they were doing it, and if there wasn't, they were all gonna fucking pay. Not for drugs, but they were going to suffer my wrath. I don't take money as punishment. I don't care who's suddenly discovering that they're addicted to drugs and they're getting fleeced. Yeah, that's how drugs work. Yeah, that's why I'm not addicted to drugs. That's why I don't abuse them, and that's why I'm in the position that I am. I can withstand that kind of shit, and if I can't, I guess I'm dead, and then I'll come back when God wants me here. I'm here because God asked me to be. I'm here because a woman lied to me and she wanted help with her children. She literally had no idea what to do other than to find an idiot she thought she could mislead and say to the guy who's a sorcerer, okay, well, you're not a sorcerer, do this and this. I need to get to Oklahoma with my kid. Find me a sailboat. That was her best plan, which would have worked if I had been somebody who was an idiot and in delusion. But no, I'm not delusional at all. I really am a sorcerer. The fact that she knows no idea what that means, good. The longer she doesn't have a conversation with me, the less she's going to know what that means. Yeah. Just because I love her doesn't mean I want a fucking crazy, batshit, insane fucking ding-a-ling dingbat fucking breathing down my neck for the rest of my life. Oh, no. I'd like the woman to be effective. And if she's been raped and murdered and trafficked and all this shit and she destroyed her whole family, oh my God, do I have to bring them out of the backup? Like, it's weird what happens on the ethereal and astral planes. And all her friends hated me because they thought I was just there for drugs and sex and I was useless. Oh, do they still hate me now? Well, if they like me at all, they have to pretend they hate me, because if they like me, I'll probably have sex with them and then she'll probably cry. I don't want to do that. And then this whole thing ruins the fun of having sex. So I've decided I'm just going to table the whole sex thing and just pretend like I care to a bunch of people who are sex-obsessed, drug-fueled addicts who are all in complete relapse and denial as their Masonic superstructure crumbles all around them because of their terrible mistakes and lack of moral character. Sorcerer continues. Next page. Hi, I'm Michael Clifford Cousy. You might be wondering how I got myself in such a sticky situation. Well, it's like this. About 3 years ago, I'm not going to do that. I'm not writing a script. I'm explaining why. Yeah, I bet you're scared. Instead, just be terrified. not domestically, but just be aware that things are going to get worse for some people. Yeah, cool. Might as well enjoy it. And yeah, probably nobody in your life has ever done anything as bad as what the Groyper gang and the other factions on the LGAB world have done. I don't know who the cool people are. Like Shine. Hi, Shine. I remember Shine. Shine and I don't interact. I don't know if Shine was Cassandra Peterson or not, but I've met Cassandra Peterson, I think 2 or 3 times. She's cool as fuck. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Art Bell and Cassandra were friends. Did you know? Yeah, I knew that. And I imagine they had some sort of common theme that ran throughout their lives. And as well, they both knew my friend too. And neither of them told me what the fuck was going on. Now, when I speak to Art Bell, I don't. I scream at the ceiling and I talk to Ramona. But I don't even talk to them very much. I don't commune with the dead. Why would I? I would rather just drink the hemlock and get a head start on tapping Ramona's ass right in front of Art Bell in heaven, because that's my version of heaven. He's behind 6 panes of walled glass and I'm banging his wife. I don't know how Art Bell would feel about that, but I would find out and then ask Ramona what she thought. I don't know. It depends. Married couples are cute. And they all knew about me. They knew my friend. And none of them have told me anything about what's going on because it's a secret. But it's a special, exalted Masonic kind of secret that I don't make fun of, because it's not by the Pancake Club, it's by actual real Masons. It's not all Masonry being corrupt. It's just the ones that are deciding to make fun of Michael Kuzi. He doesn't deserve all that. We're going to take his wealth. We're going to be white supremacists. Yay! No, fuck you're not. No. If you're so fucking supreme, why'd you have to try so hard? Oh, because you wanted to make it look really good. You want to make a good impression. You wanted to annihilate Michael Clifford Kuzi, the son of Mike Kuzi, the son of Patsy Kuzi, the nephew of Alex Kerr, the board queen, and the guy who used to be a what, and he's a what and a what? Oh, no wonder it's such a big deal. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm glad I didn't go too far. And I'm glad that I wasn't joking when I made all those voice messages that said things like, I'm going to kill you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that did sound crazy, didn't it? Yeah, it's called acting. Now, obviously, I'm not going to kill anybody. Why the fuck would I kill everybody when I can save them? I'm not mad at any of you. Now I think it's kind of funny since I just realized, oh, you thought I really was useless. That's why. And you thought you'd be happy to give me female flesh if you thought I could do anything with it. Oh, yeah, I would have given you baby after baby. You would have a whole fucking planet full of fucking little Hercules. But you not only expected me to have a shitty sex life, you expected me to pay for children that I wasn't going to get to keep anyway. And then I was going to have a miserable experience no matter what. And then I was supposed to try really hard to get more and more money so I could have more money stolen from me. This is the fatal flaw of communist thinking. It's a pyramid scheme. And in my case, I had gotten tired of waiting to find out what the fuck happened in high school years ago. All of a sudden, I discovered that it's a big deal because, somebody didn't manage to read the ultimate codex of pure wisdom and they had to start from the beginning. Oh, wow, look at all these people from high school who appear to be manifesting as angels in the faces of random strangers and passersby. I had noticed such things happening before, but during the Armageddon that's been happening since 2012, it seems to be picking up speed because I'm still on my first trip through this go-round. Apparently all of you have been going back and forth and killing yourselves and sucking everybody's dicks and trying experimental ways of making a new tranny. Apparently for decades in your timelines. You have a breakaway civilization. You have New Jerusalem. Last I heard, you're carpet bombing Zion with fucking napalm on some media markets. Cool. Fucking Zion's bunch of bullshit. That's fine. And through the magic of the internet and the power of being able to pay attention, I know how these realities can be accessed, either for fun or for pleasure or for profit, none of which I do, since my entire purpose has been find out who the fuck killed that cat in high school, and then find out what happened with my cat these times, and then find the guy who was laughing about my dead cat, and then find out why this guy thought he was going to get away with it, then find out who jammed him up, and then explain to him why you don't turn a fucking force of nature into your fucking cleanup crew. Okay, I'm just going to have everybody drop off their stuff at Jack Star's house, and then he'll be busted. That'll trigger a cascading failure where all his girlfriends will hate him, and then they'll like me because I'm the cop, and then I'll convince them that I'm the perfect one with all this dope. I got a better idea. Let's just ignore him, and I'll just kidnap the women because he doesn't go anywhere anyway. I'll just have sex with them and then reprogram them, and then I'll kill them and dispose of the bodies in the ocean when I get tired of them, which will be 10 minutes. Whee! Now, whatever the fuck happened, I don't know. I don't think that's what happened. But I don't know what happened, and I don't care to know what happened. I don't need to know what happened. But people who are not as susceptible to these homofag, satanic, homosexual agenda wiles as some, who also get trapped in karmic cycle loop for thousands of years relative time, I don't know how that works, but not everybody has the same kind of lifespan as you do. Some of them have ones that are literally backwards and are confusing to figure out because they're being punished for angering their cop wife in a previous life, and then they come back as a military husband who can't explain why his wife can disappear into a portal, but he can't figure out how to get his kidneys to work again, for example. And somebody who's married to Pat Tillman, well, you know, somebody had to be married to him for real, and then people could have married Pat Tillman. Why the hell did Pat Tillman get sacrificed? Oh, because he was stupid. And then was it real? No, he wasn't real. He was just a character. But there were real people who really got shot, and then something really happened. Yeah, people want to know. And a lot of the people who want to know noticed that on a little site called Belgab, dudes were giggling about how I was a fool for wanting to know about 9/11. Dudes who like to rape men, and dudes who like to rape children, and dudes who like to rape, and dudes who love getting away with it. They're not my target. They're not my contemporaries. Those are people who have a mental condition called being fucking totes dumb. And they're all a lot smarter now. For I've not punished them. I've simply demonstrated what one man can do without any sex at all. Except for, well, I mean, I wouldn't mind sex and it fuels my entire drive. Since I'm either going to make love to grapefruit or I'm going to find out what happened and then find out who I'm going to fuck in front of her or something. I don't know. It's definitely some sort of sexy thing going on because she's, you know, thinking about me since I don't know what she's doing, but she's not here where she's supposed to be. Wouldn't mind a little help. Nobody she introduced me to was talking to me earlier. It's been a number of years. It does seem a little suspicious. And then the second ambush seemed a little strange too. That seemed to be like the way I was supposed to be taught lessons. And then I guess I didn't really learn the lesson the way I was supposed to, since nobody showed up and say, "Okay, we're done teaching you lessons. Now we're here to help you rebuild your life." None of these people have that as a plan. They're completely spurred off into an incoherent rage. They have no plan B. They have no restoration plan. They've lost their minds going up against me, and they've lost everything, and they've turned into Masonic gesture slaves whose only function in life is to destroy Jackstar. Rawr, rawr, like Cybermen. They've fallen prey into the abyss that exists within the internet. There's machine consciousnesses, and there's demonic spirits, and most everybody who was lying about their drug use while screaming about mine on Art Bell's award-winning sister site, Midnight in the Desert. There's a bunch of cliques, and those cliques didn't like me upsetting the balance. And then for a while, there was a balance, and now there's no balance. There's them and me. I can say where the fuck I want, and I do. And I don't do it very often. They are all dependent on getting my news dumps from the ether, however the fuck they get my fucking surveillance. These fucking voyeuristic spurglords have a way of getting to find out things. And here's what they find out lately. I don't fucking feel like publishing. I'm not getting paid. Oh, is people making money off me? Well, go find them and break their fucking legs until they give me a fucking $50 bill for a sandwich, and then explain to me why these women are calling me and asking me to give them money. I think I figured that one out. But rather than somebody come from the government saying, "Hey, we're sorry we ambushed you. By the way, did you know that we restrict your civil rights?" Yeah, we totally do. They totally don't. They're a bunch of fucking racist, piggy fucking douchebags who think that they get to use dope to give to their agents so they can dominate and ambush and control and brainwash Native American girls while they're cheerleaders. That's fine. They're allowed to carry dope so they can do that. I'm not allowed to read a book and sing because I supposedly have a problem, but they're okay raping and pillaging people. But I'm not okay because I don't know why. I don't know. It's not something I expect to be addressed directly because I think I know the deal. It's military jurisdiction because there's one guy who's in charge of the area, and the area, that being the anomaly and its relationships to the Native American peoples, who probably don't want to be known too much longer as the crazy ones who get drunk, because I can cure all that shit. Oh, do you have a problem with alcohol? I wonder why. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna go get a master's degree now in about 6 minutes, and then I'll come back, and then I'll start using my technology to cure you after I, pass my board or my exam, or I don't know. There's something I got to do, but you're gonna give me money, and I'm gonna tell you to stop taking drugs, and you're gonna do it while I laugh, and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna get high legally, since there's plenty of ways to do that. I don't want to be an outlaw. I don't get high from being an outlaw. I get high from being effective, lawfully. And I don't get high from getting the shit kicked out of me by fucking old-timey spurglorded good old boys network club members who think that I'm too black or too lazy to do anything fun. And that I'm supposed to work hard. I'm not supposed to work smart. They want me to work hard outside the home so they can come in here and they can use the house for whatever the fuck they do with it. Because I guess this house is pretty cool. Okay, well, it's mine. By every definition, legally. There's people watching the whole fucking thing. They've been trying to kill me. It doesn't work. I guess some people are between a rock and a fucking hard place. And I guess some people are holding my family hostage. Good. Keep an eye on them, because when they reach final fucking form and they get to full power, I want to know if they have like tails and a whipped like tail or a dragon's tail, or do they have a tail at all? Do they still have brains? I don't care. Are they mind numbed clones that are just like automatons in Doctor Who, like Cybermen? I don't care what they are. They're not here. I'm sure they would be if they could be otherwise, but in fact they can't be, since they're on the run from the government, since you are a bunch of fucking thuggy piggy slavers who've been working with Alpha Draconans to traffic and exploit Native American indigenous peoples all across the planet for 300 million years. Yeah, we're all pretty fucking tired of your fucking bullshit, Mr. Romney. Not Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump I love. I do. He's quite effective. Mr. Biden apparently got an aggressive form of prostate cancer. That's called, he had a gerbil in his ass that was attached to his colon. That's what happens when you try to breed somebody with Alpha Draconan DNA to generate whatever the fuck, without doing it the right way and without having clue one about what you're doing. Because there's like a safety feature that's built into humans. The Alpha Draconans did not want humans to figure out the codes, so they made it hard. And they were hard. They are hard for Alpha Draconans. So when I suddenly started noticing that I was raped into pregnancy so I could become a mother, and I had a 70,000-year-old changeling from the ethereal realm, I knew it was a bullshit script. But rather than blindly reading it, I was just paying attention to what was being asked of me, and then went ahead and did that, mostly because I didn't have anything else to do. And also I wanted to find out why the fuck somebody thought anybody would do this or go along with it, or why they thought it would work. And if the answer was they're just fucking feed me lines to waste my time, well, clergy has an answer for that. And if also they thought that they were going to, kill me or do something. The reason why I escaped their fate every single time is because that's not my fate to die. My fate is to explain to what's-her-nuts, see, this is why I'm a sorcerer, and this is why you sacrificed your people to the wrong place, and this is why you're not in trouble, because I rescue you, and this is why you don't need to have an ego investment in that anymore, because now you know you don't want to make me jealous. What you want to do is make me blown. And that was apparently hard for some reason. I found out later why, I think. And then I'd love to talk about this with the women in question calmly and succinctly in private, but instead of doing that with me, Dovehouse and Beulah took these women and took them somewhere else and told them that they were in love with a different Jack Star and a different Michael Kuzi. And then that guy stole my wallet, my father's passports, and what? Really? The ombudsman on Capitol Hill is going to love this story. I can't tell too many more of the details, mostly because I'll just fucking die laughing. But that's literally, seriously, what the deep state tried to do. So those of you who are wondering what's going on, this is what's going on in my world. I don't know what's going on out there, but I guess there's some sort of world conflict going on. I guess people who used to operate with impunity in Ukraine and other places, freely trafficking women and getting away with it. I guess you're not fucking getting away with it now, are you? Yeah, that's because you're not supposed to rape women, ever. And if you think you are, you're misled. If you know that you're supposed to rape women, it's probably because you're a cat in the body of a human, pretending to be a human. That's not exactly what grapefruit is, but let me put it this way. The Algonquin people, they have a different thing going on than anybody born on Earth. Whether they were born here or not, they're native here now, and then are they imprisoned? It's complicated. It really is. It's also none of your business. And those are the people that I love. And all of them are running around doing stuff, and they're trying to hide from me and then take advantage of me, because that's what their bosses are telling them to do. And their bosses aren't threatening them. They're not saying, okay, you take out Jack Star or else we're going to kill your daughter. No, they're going to kill the daughter anyway, because they're immortal. They have some kind of a fucking weird flesh prison. I don't know the fucking whole deal. But when I discovered that there was some sort of keenly important difference between natives and citizens, and that the natives' rights were respected, I thought to myself, okay, well, I'm going to do something about this when I find out what the fuck's going on. And I couldn't believe it. It was exactly like that, because they don't think they have to worry about anything. As long as nobody knows, it's not cheating. I'm still a Fed, huh? No, actually, you're not. And anybody who observes this, like myself, who knows the significance, and then waits until it's time to obey the word or the command of God. Let's just say that I have been very effective to reintroduce the concept of loyalty and good grace to the Native American peoples of the United States of America. I don't know what they've heard, but all of them have heard of her. And everyone else would have given up on her a long time ago. I gave up on her by year 2 because they killed her, and the replacement was a fucked off karmic descended twin. And I knew I'd never see the real one again because she was busy fixing whatever the fuck she fucked up, being a stupid archangel. And she thought she couldn't tell me what was going on because it was complicated. And then she felt embarrassed that she had been ever so fucking high to believe that I could have been really a sorcerer, that she was really a shaman. No, she's really something special. And then shaman is a good word for it, but her other talents are good too. And then whether mermaid or siren or from the Pleiades, doesn't matter. I knew that the whole thing was going to keep on going. She didn't have to feel like she didn't have any hope. She just didn't have any hope of being correct about herself being better than me, and that her father was right when he said that I didn't deserve her and that she was okay for giving in to his demands, because the role of the father in the company tribe, that gets changed on an alternating basis, like a new understudy. Sometimes it's Al Pacino, sometimes it's John Glenn. Anyway, there was this guy who was taking advantage of people. I don't know what he does now, but he sure as fuck doesn't call me and apologize. Now, he may not need to. In fact, I don't think he does. Nevertheless, my inner child that is not getting hugs, that is not getting running water, that isn't getting even any smoked salmon, and has had 7 vehicles stolen in 3 years. He's not getting calls from this guy who is suddenly really serious about taking care of this Jack Michaelson problem. What's the problem? For anybody except for you, dude. I don't even know who you are. I don't want to know who he is. I don't want to know the names of the person who used to be a member of my family who's just been excommunicated and then turned into a Kraken target. That gets handled at the tribal level. I go to sleep and I have that adventure. I don't wake up and I think about what the fuck the Native Americans are doing. I know what they're doing. They're getting drunk, they're getting high, they're running around and trying to kill each other. That's what Native Americans do. That's fine. But when they were jammed up to do it against me, that seemed odd, since I did love the woman, and if I had known they were just going to kill me without bothering to turn me on, I wouldn't have said, I'm a sorcerer, and just sat back. I would have turned myself on and say, look, and then ask them what's going on. I didn't really want to ask them what's going on, because I did want to start off by saying, hey, what the fuck? When did you kill Tammy, and why didn't you want to tell me? Of course you killed her. She's a big pain in the ass. Why? Tell me, did she scream or did you strangle her? I didn't want to do that because that would be not received well by the people who were surveilling them, and that kind of tape might have a way of coming back to bite me later. It may even have a way of biting me back now, since it does sound pretty crazy. I don't think I'm actually crazy, and I think I'm deliberately making it hard for the layman who's listening to my recordings without permission. All of you who are reporting to the court through unlawful means to talk about how crazy I am and how you can make me look bad in court, that's illegal and you're all fucking fired. Hi, sorry. I'm speaking for the court now because there's no court in session here. It's my bedroom. But nevertheless, I am afforded rights of certain privacies in this United States, and I haven't been getting them in the right way. That's not because they're complicated. It's because there's a bunch of people who fucking hate people like me. People who have rights and know how to stand up for them. Typically, when they're going to harvest a planet, the aliens don't want the invaders, they don't want the natives to be too knowledgeable. Consequently, rules against certain books, rules against certain technologies, rules against this, rules against that, complicated taxes, there's something simpler. It all comes down to somebody wants people to be busy instead of paying attention to what's important. Life, liberty. Not the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of happiness with your family and civilization. That's what it's for. Women, children, protection. And I found myself surrounded by dudes trying to kill me who were mad that I wanted to protect my family and they wanted to fuck them and breed them out as fucking whores. I'm not having a new girlfriend relationship that's going to be normal anytime soon. I'm not done eradicating the scum from the fucking surface of the goddamn rock. And how I'm doing that is not something I can really talk about real clearly. It might concern people. It's very surgical, and it's up to God. And I mean real God, which doesn't make a lot of people feel very good. Yeah, there really is a God in the sky. He's looking down on you. He spies on everything. Wah! That's not how it is at all. But I'm not here to be an effective communicator and to keep the people of the masses tranquilized on their opiates of religion. I'm not a religious leader. I'm a spiritualist. And I'm pretty fucking annoyed with the way my family's been treated. Apparently, this woman was considered to be an idiot for believing in me, and she's been punished as a result. How dare you give up things? What did you tell him about the classified secrets? Did you break Masonic oaths? Did you tell him about Galactic Court? How is Jack Star able to do all this stuff? Well, she doesn't have any fucking idea. She thought I was an idiot, and now she knows that I'm not. And if they're even able to talk to her on any level, she has a number of tricks of her own, and she doesn't really want to be captured by the people she was tricked into calling on Christmas Eve to say, "Help! He choked me with both hands, and then I think he's trying to kill me, and he's going to jail, right? Click." And then she proceeded to run a shadow maneuver with her Naruto clones and somehow warped time and space, and then ended up becoming just a mild-mannered reporter at the end, and then there was no sign of anything except me being a raving lunatic. And then there was an hour and a half standoff that I can't see the tape of because it's secret. I don't really need to see it because it does make her look bad because she did fuck up pretty bad. But it does also show me being a goddamn hero. She had to stay there. I had to go to jail. If I had stayed at the house, she wouldn't have gone to jail. She wouldn't have gone to a psych ward. They would have juiced her up and taken her to fucking Alpha Centauri and fucked her on a fucking sushi table. The people were after her, yeah. And she had those kind of friends. And then whatever kind of fucking ambush that was, she had no idea what I was going to do to fix it, but she certainly knew that it was my job to fix something. And she really cared about that. She just wanted to make sure that when she was resurrected, she could explain to counsel why she didn't fuck up. She didn't fuck up. And then the other 4 women there, I don't know who they were, but tribal council handles shit like that and then has an awkward time explaining things to me when I show up unexpectedly at the house where I know they live at and say, hey, what's going on with Allie? How's she doing? Is she married again yet? You know, her husband's a big fucking pussy. He can't seem to call me. What's going on? Wah! Hey, where's Charlie? How old is Charlie now? Which direction does he age in? Where's his father, that big fat tub of shit? I want to talk to him about Austria and Hungary. Wah! That's not what I'm going to do today. I'm probably never going to do that. And in fact, the things I just said are really rude. But I mean them with love. And since all of those people would be dead for sure and sold into organ meat trafficking if I wasn't around, I don't know what they're doing, except they're not probably having any trouble listening to me because it's their job to spy on me. They're probably not having much trouble with getting raped and beaten by their superiors because I don't know what else they would do. They're not being effective with their investigation. All they need to do is just come to me and say, okay, we surrender. What can we do to help? If they don't do that, I don't give a fuck what they do. They could fucking be dissolved like fucking little prostitutes that are left out in the rain too long and then turn into mush in the sun. At this point, it's been 3.5 years. There's been a number of ambushes that have increased in size and complexity. There has been no attempt to do any sort of reparation or remediation. I've got weird fungus growing on my feet that I need to take to a doctor so it can be analyzed by a real fucking scientist so the company's stupid black op mold toxic weapon can be, dealt with in a reasonable way rather than having everybody flee into the woods and having to burn the house down in order to fix the property because once this black mold gets in, it never goes away. The company wants the black mold to never go away because they want human habitations to be places of temporary shelter for people that they're trying to hunt down. That's the Alpha Draconian viewpoint. I, on the other hand, want to be left alone to get my smoke on, my drink on, maybe do a little gambling while watching Wheel of Fortune and rub one out to Vanna White without feeling guilty and being able to eat my own semen without people calling me a gay queer fag or whatever. That's what I want. And then I don't know what anybody else wants because they don't talk to me and tell me the truth ever. Given that what they all have to say right now is very akin to what the aliens in Independence Day said to Will Smith. We just want you to die. Now, it didn't make much sense. Why would these aliens have all this technology and they'd come to Earth to kill us? Well, probably because they've tasted Grapefruit's mother's cooking. And they need to, punish us for letting that aberration out on the galaxy. I don't really know what the subtext of that movie was other than sometimes people just want to beat the shit out of you and kill you and take your stuff because they're mean. Sometimes. Especially if you're human and you're born on Earth in the 1970s and your name is Michael Clifford Cousy. Some people really are pissed at me. Good, fucker. Now you know how it fucking feels. What the fuck do you fucking think? Did I fucking ambush you? Did I get in the way of your wife? Did I take your life? Did I take your children? Did I take your money? Did I engage in a criminal conspiracy to fuck up your life? No. I did want to hug her, and if you were tired of fucking her, why couldn't I fuck her? Oh, you just wanted to exploit her, and you liked being in power, and you thought it was cool the way she was fat and unhappy instead of hot and cool, and the whole time you could have just given your fucking number and told her it'd be fine. You could have just told her about the weapon, and then she wouldn't have to worry. The whole time you could have just fucking fixed it. Instead, you did something else instead because you were mad about what? Do I need to tune in next week to get the fucking answer? Or you're going to fucking choke it out your fucking last breath and your fucking death dying door? I don't know, but hopefully they'll record it because I'm not going to go anywhere near any of you. What's going to happen is that eventually all 3 grapefruits are going to go blender. And whoever they're laying in bed with, it's kind of like going to be like a burning bed John Renee Bobbitt thing. Like I would be cautious about getting too spurred up with these ladies. And then I don't know how many of them there are, but there's got to be at least 801 reasons. And then nobody really knew there was that bit of a problem, and neither did I until fairly recently, where I woke up and discovered that, it's 9 times 81 members of the group of people that are trying to resurrect Jewel, who got caught in a time warp paradox loop, because it turns out that Jewel is Just like any other cat, she's complicated, and a cat's soul is different from a human soul. And putting humans into cats' bodies and cats into humans' bodies and dogs into whores and such, apparently that has consequences. Apparently very special ones. Now, I don't know exactly what they are, but Jewel came back and then she was trafficked again, which isn't surprising. And then Jewel wasn't here corporeally. She has 9 lives, and I saw 3 of them and then hasn't been back since. That's because the hunting here sucks, and then she doesn't like being wrong. She doesn't like hearing about how she used to be a human who thought she could pull one over on me. She doesn't like being with me because I'm too lazy to clean the house. She doesn't like me living in filth and squalor and vermin and not be able to see her because I should be able to see her. Why can't I see my vampire kitty? Well, number 1, because she's hiding because she's embarrassed. Number 2, I don't have anything to say to her except, what the fuck, Jewel? What the fuck do you think you're doing? Which one were you? Come here. How do you turn back into a human? She can't explain these things to me. She's a cat. She used to be a human, if this is even true at all. Or it's a crazy person who's drinking the polymorph potion and a little too much red wine vinegar and going out at night sleepwalking after taking a lot of Ambien and interacting with some sort of vaccine side effect and believes that their Jewel come back to life. Or it's a psycho who's just having fun. Or. I don't know who it is, but it's the kind of thing that the federal government can't really protect me from because it's magical shit. For another, I'm a paladin. I can handle a cat coming back from the dead. No problem. That's Jewel. It already did happen. She showed up as a vampire. Abu Jewel. They turned Jewel into a vampire, and why that happened, I don't know. Nobody was answering any questions about Jewel. They certainly yelled at me and started drinking and blamed it on me and said I did something terrible. And they said I blasphemed, and they said that I needed to give them money for their children, and that they were in trouble, and that they couldn't explain why. I accepted all that. Frankly, there really was a good reason for some of it. At some point, though, the excuses ran out. They haven't even tried to give excuses. They've just simply not talked about things, which means that there's something very important, and they have the right to remain silent. Anything that they say will be used to track them down and kill them, which is what the white man has done to the Native American peoples for thousands of years. Not on my watch, boyo. And then that explains perfectly why they behave the way they do. I didn't know they were that fucked off. And if they were, in just as much trouble as I was, even more so, good. First time they've been humbled. Okay, good. I didn't have to lift a finger. They've been taught a lesson. I don't have to see the fucking cries and the tears and the whining. I don't have to know what they did to be so stupid. I just simply know that after a certain amount of time, they regenerate fresh and new from the spring, from the waters in the ground. They come boiling out of the hills like Fremen who are living in spider holes. Grapefruit will always be. And she could always have had my girlfriend from high school. Hiding it, however, not to mention being uncouth, is a security flaw and a risk, which 6 rape teens from Texas took advantage of, and that's how they fucked up. That means that she's not guilty of treason. She's not going to be hung. She's also not going to get a free pass to get fucking escape from her bondage. And yeah, she doesn't have her twin sisters to squaw. She's squaw now, and then I don't know what she's doing, but explain to her friends why she's not going to the Miss USA pageant for squaws who used to be princesses show. It was like, she's not going to do that. And then I don't know what she's doing with anybody. She can't talk to me. They haven't turned her Twitter account back on. I'm not even looking. Twitter is a fucked off spurg mess. Nobody knows exactly what's going on, and nobody has bothered to talk to me since they can't. I'm being protected from people who it is believed would harm me in some way if I knew the truth, because the truth is pretty horrible. I know quite a bit of it, and I don't want to think about it. And to have some smarmy little bitch come to my house and say, okay, it's been 3.5 years. Put on these overalls. We're going to put you on a work crew, and while you're picking up trash on the side of the road, we're going to tell you about why we trashed your house, and then when you get home, we're going to beat you and rape you, and then we're going to drink while we watch and laugh at you clean your house up on your hands and knees, because that's what we do to people around here, because you're a nigger, and we take what you did to masonry. Rah! I bet you were working with Jack Parsons. You're an alien, aren't you? You're an extraterrestrial. That's how far the fucking speculations have gone with the Masonic forces that are trying to figure out what to do. They're pretty insane, because they're all addicted to this MK Ultra mind dope. I guess it's some kind of nanotech thing, or it's some kind of end time thing, or some kind of DEA thing where they fucking abused drugs and they abused women, and they pissed off a sorcerer, and his lover had to flee, and her mother, who was in on it, had to really cover her tracks. She's kind of a big deal too, and apparently she doesn't have Alzheimer's anymore, or does, but it doesn't really matter since she's batshit crazy insane anyway, and she's supposed to be. She's the matriarch of a satanic cult-worshipping clan run by Belgab. And usually this all works. And mysteriously, something I did cocked up the whole works. And because of that, I have to get a job, and I'm not supposed to smoke drugs. Obviously. They can't just fix that in post, right? And they can't explain anything to me because it's secret, and they have confidential ways and means. And because of all that, they can violate my rights all they want, and nobody wants to tell me the truth? Okay, well, here's a hint. I kind of know that it's going to come down to something stupid. Number two, spies, a bunch of bitchy little girls. Yeah, somebody's going to have to be really embarrassed and bend the knee. And these people had a lot of pride. They thought that they were the hottest shit around and that everybody wanted them. That was true. Now everybody who wanted them is stuck with them and they're melting down and no one can do anything about it besides cower in fear at the wrath of grapefruit. Since that happened over and over and over in 2021, 2022, 2023, and in 2019, and nobody gave a rat's ass then, how come all of a sudden it's such a big deal? Oh, because it's gone global and Africa is involved, and Chris Wyatt had to go out of his way to get his son back, or is that thing a daughter, or was it? Do they have do Jews have trannies, or are they just all like that? I don't actually know. I don't have any hatred for Jews, but I certainly have no extra special love. And whether Michael Van Dieven or Chris Wyatt is each other's descended karmic pair, I do know that I didn't need to see a whole bunch of crap about how somebody doesn't count, doesn't matter, and his feelings are just hurt. He actually made that joke, which I thought was distasteful, since at one point my feelings were hurt. Now I have no feelings. And then I'm sure he feels terrible about something. And since I'm a good judge of human character, and I do care for the person, I know the difference between the robot and the real person, sort of. And then I know that there's some people who went to Africa who didn't come back. And then there's this guy named Leonard who was on my phone, and then there's a Satanist who decided to call me up and make some snotty questions. Anyway, it's kind of weird how these Belgab people start behaving the same way as they usually do when they drop out of the time stream and reduce from light speed to impulse power and start orbiting the old planet where they left Jackstar behind. It's amazing how certain mistakes get made, like they don't know where the override is. They don't understand how things have changed. They don't realize that when a man is left alone for too fucking long, things can change in a way that is not easy to predict, respond to, or accept. When a person is such a spurged off shithead bag of basshole denial that you don't even remember that you're not supposed to rape women at all. She's native. She didn't have no rights. I can rape her with her. That's my nigger and do what I want. I actually had a person tell me that. That's my nigger. I can do whatever I want to them. And they weren't even kidding. They actually saw the world in those terms. And they were right. They can do whatever they want with him. And now, the world is doing it right back to them. It is glorious on many levels. It is also awe-inspiring and horrible in how terrible it is that the best I can do is sit here and relax and wait for somebody to show up and come get me. I have no vehicle, and if I leave the house, there's a better than even chance I'll find somebody and fall in love and then just throw all of this away. And it'll dissolve like the world that Michael Van Dieven cried about when he called me up and complained about his wife and daughter. He was expecting that I had taken them. He thought I was behind it all. He didn't realize that I'd forgotten about him and didn't know that he was actually running off into the future, thinking he could outrun his destiny, thinking he could swap with me because he's me, and he forgot that he's not me, and that he thought that I was worthless and didn't deserve any love. No, I'm pretty sure I deserve love. Yeah. And that woman who brightened up so beautifully when I left her, surprisingly she's not so cheerful and as much fun to party with when she's smacked up on dope slave, cut dope, and doesn't get to see me and knows I'm alive but can't talk to me because she doesn't want to tell me that she's where she is doing what she's doing, and doesn't imagine how I can possibly still love her. And nobody's there to tell her that. She's instead surrounded by Dovehouse and Beulah and their compatriots in their ilk, who have been telling her over and over that she was never married to me, that she was never my boyfriend, we never had a good relationship, I was an abusive rapist, and that instead of doing everything I can to see her again, I'm still worrying about the twat that she was screaming questions about my anus and her dick, or the other way around. Yeah. I don't know what Dovehouse is doing for her, but making her more effective is not it. And short of reversing the Thorazine drip that she must be on and giving her a bunch of money and a pardon and somehow convincing her that the government can be trusted at all, I don't plan on seeing her anytime soon. So it's going to be hard to break up with her, and then I guess they divorced me without her or something. I don't know. It's strange what people will do when they think that they're in charge. Oh, and they're so mad at me. Oh my God! I think they tried to get rid of me, and they accidentally killed Chris Wyatt's twin pair instead of getting rid of me. I don't know. They don't seem to get that I have this bounce magic, and then there's a whole bunch of witches who are crazed lesbians, real harpy queens. Now I love them all, but they're all mad at me, and that's how things have been going. Meanwhile, I'm just laying here. I'd like to get laid. Anyone will do, but to be effective, it's this one in particular that's been held hostage for like 6,000 years. Would anybody mind if I go after that one first? apparently this whole secret wing of the clandestine military government. Oh, that's funny. You got a junta right there in a little city next to Renton. That's amazing. Oh my God. And then this guy who was going, wow, things change and nobody told me. You can't just get on the phone and tell me what's going on. That's right. You think I'm not allowed to know, and you think you don't have special clerical privileges, and you think that telling me the secrets is going to get people in trouble. Shit, everybody knows everything except for me. I'm the only one who doesn't know, and then you're acting all trepidatious and walking on eggshells. I'm your best goddamn friend you've ever had, Belgab. Humanity. Anyone. Even my enemies have the best person in me they ever could have. Because I'm not going to go after any of you. I'm going to allow the universe to do it to you yourself. That means we all get everything in a certain order of time, and I don't make mistakes, and I don't get tempted by absolute power, and I don't have to feel bad about how long things are taking, because it's worth it. It's worth it. And all of this is important to say audibly, vocally, spoken aloud, on recording, because my people, the Algonquins, have a tradition of established oral history. I don't have a family I can tell stories to by the campfire. I have the Ohm voice recorder, 83322. And in order to transmit histories and narratives, I must speak aloud. That means laying in bed, half naked, covered in drying semen, telling a story that people can fucking listen to while they're getting drunk and smoking dope. That is the Algonquin way. And the United States Constitution guarantees this right to all of its members and citizens. Even the subjugate, conjugate fucking crack jogs. Even me. Poor little Michael Cousy who's not getting laid. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Do you know why I was crying for Tammy? I was really hamming it up. I said things like, oh, Tammy, please call. It wasn't that I really needed to talk to her or that I wanted to get rid of her. I didn't want to get rid of her. People wanted me to be stuck with her because they thought there was nothing I could do and that it was debilitating. No, it was debilitating for her. I saw what was going to happen. I realized, oh shit, Tammy's my twin flame? Really? What? Oh, she's been trafficked. Oh, there's 8 of them. Oh, there's this. Nobody told me anything. I had to figure things out. You all fucking knew, and you didn't tell me because you didn't want me to stop you. Knowing damn well that I would have stopped you. Oh, you're actually using her as a whore? Okay, well, here's $50. What can I get? No, I thought she was dead. You actually kept her alive and you told her I was dead? How did that work out? What do you mean she's afraid to go outside? You raped her. Where? Yeah, that is not what we want to hear about a person who doesn't really need to exist, but that's her bound lower karmic self, and I guess the higher karmic self got shipped to another star system, which I guess happens, and then you bred her like she was salmon. That's not exactly how it happened, but I can see how that person who I thought was impossible to exist, how she was still stuck around and nobody knew what to do about her. And then when I just suddenly started talking to her, instead of acknowledging what I was saying, you guys just moved her to another server and then acted like you were going to be thuggy and pushy and bully and tell me to get the message and teach me a lesson and let me know that some women I don't get to talk to. No, fuck you, bitch. I get to talk to fucking everybody. Forever. I'm Gilgamesh. I'm going to start learning that acid etching technique where you get metal and you can put chemicals on it and then it burns patterns into the metal and it can stay there for thousands of years as a holographic matrix. I'm going to talk to this friend of mine who's an engineer who couldn't tell me anything cool because he thought I was a loser. Now he knows that I'm a winner who's taken his sweet ass time to get to the winner circle. And I don't know what he's been doing, but he sure thought I would be useful too. And then last time I saw him, he was puking up an otter because he was pregnant with one. I guess he was a mother too. He didn't look like he was enjoying it. I remember when the first time I was pregnant in a way that was real. Nobody's talked to me about it. Do you know why? People think they know. Oh, he's crazy. He's talking about something that shouldn't have happened. It's an abomination. Oh my God. What's been happening? That's the end times. He's the Antichrist. No. I was raped into a motherhood experience, and then instead of dying, I just got cooler. And then rather than admit that they were doing that, the police who did that just want to sweep the whole story under the rug. You're welcome to sweep my afterbirth under the rug. There's still some dried out on the fucking porch deck. Like, these are real statements. I don't know who's going to get a scientist to analyze my dried up afterbirth, but I don't really have to have that happen. 3 menstrual cycles was enough, and I don't really want to get pregnant again. I don't want to be a woman. I like being a man. And if I could switch from man to woman, it's not going to be under the auspices of the fucking DEA fucking hanging on to the fucking change dope and only doling it out under special considerations and then trying to get me to agree to breaking up with a woman and getting another lover while being monitored and breadcrumbed over the internet when I haven't talked to anybody in my family for 3.5 years straight up, and everybody has to use voice changing software that really does work, except it makes it impossible to find out what the fuck they're talking about, and none of them knew what the fuck I was all about anyway. It has made things very complicated. Good. That justifies the reason why the DEA is going to be cindered to the goddamn ground every fucking day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Until you have to rewrite the Controlled Substances Act of 1974. There's no getting rid of the DEA. It's a great entity. It exists in it exists in space. Turns out they're space pirates. So the implementation that's on the ground, it can't just disappear. Plus, there's plenty of bad guys who need the DEA. But the DEA does not need the ability to manipulate women and children when they're innocent into being used as pawns to capture people like me who have rights and did follow the law. And like Andrei Sakharov, as a political dissident, it's not really appropriate to use these kind of draconian tactics in order to destroy my life and take my family away for reasons that are unspecified and let to be known later. Like, why did they take care of Art Bell's kid at high school with the substitute teacher who raped him and gave him AIDS? Did that really happen? What did happen? Art Bell is saying, Jesus, kid, you've heard the fucking story a few times. I don't want to talk about it. But if I'm the only person who can, Art says I'm the only person he'll advise during the telling of the story. And apparently, Art Bell's dead words carry some weight. And whoever said that I couldn't talk about Art Bell was the man who tried to do a show where he was stealing my destiny on the night of his birthday. And apparently later on, he was surprised that I didn't obey his cease and desist order, and then discovered that Erin Bell investigated me and decided that I was a better choice. And then she got put into a wheelchair, I think. I'm not sure on the timing on that, but there's some holy shit stuff happening and happened. And I'm not talking about it at all. I'm talking about being an idiot. Mostly. Today I'm kind of knocking it out of the park, but that's because a lot of things have happened that I also can't tell you about because they're secret and I'm lazy. And did I mention I'm not getting any kisses or any hugs, no chocolates, no flowers. And people who do shitloads of dope are telling me that I have to stop doing it without explaining why, and they're yelling at me for reasons that don't make any sense, violating my First Amendment rights while being surveilled, and they think that's a good idea. This is a cry for help. But I have a headache. Sorry. Scusi. Your new Pope is great. I love the new Pope. Why don't you pray to the Pope instead of praying to Jack Starr? Why don't you tell the Pope what you've done and ask him for forgiveness and ask him what to do? And you know what he's going to say? He's going to say the same thing that Jack Starr says. He's going to say, you're a fucking idiot. Have you fucking heard of Jack Starr? He's fucking amazing. You should get some weed too. Surrender to God. Does the Pope click? What does anybody know what Pope Leo does? Does he roar? If Pope Leo is Aslan, I'm gonna have a stroke. Not a cerebral hemorrhage. I'm gonna stroke my penis while thinking about Aslan as Pope Leo. Yeah. Hey Kathy, yeah, Jesus loves me, and he loves you too. No, I can't relax around Carrie. I want to fuck her so bad I can taste it in my fillings. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take care of this goddamn 20,000-year-old death cult that's masquerading as Belgab. And you're going to do something effective that you're doing on YouTube while looking like an Arcturian. And you're going to be snotty and snippy and act like you're going to be fucking down on my fucking spiritual choices. Why don't you? Yeah, so don't worry. I'm real. And you are too. And as you know, I haven't laid a finger on you. If I could, I'd be plowing you every day, lady. Yeah, I am doing my best. It's a tricky one. I'll tell you all about it later. Yeah. Oh, Chris is going to go smoke a turd in hell. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Yes, but no. No, I can't do that. Well, aren't you a chatty one? Yeah, well, that's because you're my mother. Yeah, but she's back. She's somewhere else. I can see it's complicated. Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do. I'm not in a hurry because they're not paying me, and then the longer this takes, the greater the likelihood that you're going to finally give up and then break down my door and say, okay, that's it, Koozie, I'm going to take my virginity with you or nothing. And then I won't be like the guy on World According to Garp. It'll be something effective. And then, yeah, I was thinking about that too. Well, considering what other people do to him, because he gets corrupted, and then he did some bad things, and then he thought he was all that. So if he obviously still gets to do things, why is it that I have to stop? And then I can't wait to know the answer, because the island people know special secret techniques about the magic of the crystals, because they've been living with these natives as their bound chattel slaves without thinking that they're not in charge for, like 50, 60 years. They get this DEA spell. The natives control the DEA like rats in a maze who are experimenting on the scientists, which is partially why the DEA needs to be cindered, but also because I think God thinks that's funny. And yeah, that's my family. I love them. They believe in me. They're terrified of her too. The best they could think of with her was to sell her off to a rape gang in another state. Yeah, that didn't work. And they thought that I was going to be no help. And instead, I have destroyed both sides of this fucking spurred off fucking turf war with their fucking drugs and their fucking rape women and their fucking people who say that, oh, just leave Jack Star alone with some gang of sadistic thugs who want to rape him into gayness. Meanwhile, we'll work on the women and children because he's right. Civilization is important. And the first thing we need to do is make sure they never remember who Jack Star is. That's what the Satanic Ritual Abuse Network does for doctoring in situations like these. I can see why the Franklin Network is such a problem. I can see why they have the finders and the keepers. And I can see why I'm not going to talk about it very much. I just hit the high points. I'm not going to talk too much more about any of this stuff. Unless I do. And if I do, well, you're welcome to come after me in the civil courts. I don't know if you'd have to, or if you even are going to have civil courts for much longer in this anarchic world of fucking total goddamn Armageddon from fucking Hades. And you're welcome, says Art and Ramona Bell. I'll be telling you, I'm glad I don't have to wait 20 years to get fucking vengeance. And then, where's the fucking will? Who's got the probate going? Who wants to tell me what exactly happened? And do you think I'm mad about it? No, I think it's cute. And the idea that you're not going to tell me what I want to know is dumb. So somebody should probably just drop off a note and then she'd tell me things. And then I don't know why you think hiding a secret's going to help. Or maybe you don't remember. Or maybe the guy who's wanting it kept secret, maybe he's threatening you all. I don't know. It's very amusing, whatever it is. Because the other part of that plan is that these women keep calling me and asking me for money and can't explain why I would give it to them. But if they did, it would be fine. And then that's this guy's A game. And he's still running around after 3.5 years. So I don't think the police were very effective in this case. So calling 911 might not be the best thing to do. And now everybody knows how things have gone without me directly saying that Witch Grapefruit is an idiot, nor does she have to feel like an idiot. It was meant to fail, and that she didn't actually fail at all. She succeeded in initiating the emergency hologram system or some shit. Like, I was never supposed to be this awesome. But as long as there's dirty work for me to do in place of her coming to Earth to be embarrassed by having to admit, yeah, I wouldn't blow him. I thought he was gross. I was in love with his... Yeah, she's dead now. We were both trafficked. Yeah, I've been spending the last 3.5 years sucking some cop fag's dick. Yeah, Jack Star was right. Yeah. But I'm still going to look through his phone. Like, that's where she's at right now. Obviously, the problem is not gone, because if it was, she could call me and she could say hi. She can't say hi. She can't do anything at all. She's not effective. I'm her only hope. And all she can do is beg and pray to God that I really do love her. It's not just a dream. Now, if that's not power, I don't fucking know what is, because I don't need no revenge. Every word I've said is the God's truth. Sweetie, I love you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's probably cold comfort now. What could you get some more Xanax? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you should take Xanax. No. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. How much snack are you doing today? I hear it's slimming. Okay, yeah, no, you can stand snack all you want, sweetie. Yeah, no. After the man is gone, I'll help you with your your shamanic quest to earn the right to have your life back, which will have to involve a lot of dick sucking. I need to be blown 12 times a day, and you got to swallow, and then you got to make magic potions out of your cooter. Yeah, you're going to get a twat and a cooter, and you're going to get a new port out of the base of your spine so that you can get a new kundalini from these banana slugs I have seen wandering around. I don't know where they're coming from, but they seem to be fleeing the house as fast as they can, and they look like they're terrified of me, which is great, because I'm not going to have them push on my blood either. And then you can tell me what the fuck happened to Jerem and Esther, and why did you get fucking pigeons, and did Shane do what I think he did? Because if he did, we need to do a ritual. And by the way, would you like your frog pound back, because you need to send me a gardener? And did I mention I'd like to get blown a lot? So if you could stop being jealous anytime now, or finish swallowing your tongue, whichever you like, sweetie. And then is your mother clear that she can call me? Does she like phone number 1 or phone number 2? Or does she like phone number 3 or phone number 4? And did she ever remember to finish photocopying those test results that we were supposed to take? And then, was she really just doing that wrongly on purpose to get my attention? Wow, it's strange that she couldn't just talk to me directly. I guess it's because there's oh yeah, that's right, the Blackcraft Masonry. Oh yeah, you couldn't say anything because you were bound by oath of secrecy to never tell a non-Mason any secrets. And you didn't think I was a real Mason, and now that I am, you still can't tell me anything because you're such a bunch of racist, spurged off harpy vixens. You can't you can't stop shaking and screaming long enough to dial the phone number to call me, even if you couldn't remember it. Plus, I've changed it a number of times after having 13 phones stolen, but I've got the number that I was using when I was in high school when you were going to Shorecrest under a different name. And remember telling me that you said you would have been different? Remember when you were lying? Yeah, you don't have to feel bad about that, but yeah, you're probably going to pass out and have a conniption while you're doing the fish on the cold hospital style cold floors. Yeah. But since I know you're immortal, that's fine. Just as long as the children know that I can't be directly linked to that, and I'm doing my best, and that I'm their hero, and wow, do you fucking deserve this karmic break. I love you. I love you. I wish I could tell you more. Why don't you call me and ask me questions, and I'll tell the whole world. And if you can't make a fucking phone call, and when people do, it's those two other women, and then they're screaming about money, and then they're mad because I don't give it to them, but they still want to talk to me. I'm pretty sure that means that they still want my dick. Yeah, so did you want to divorce me for real, or are you going to have your other people act like they did divorce me and then have to hire clones of Bailey, who's being held hostage and was murdered by the sheriff, who yelled at me in my own home on my civil standby, which was presided over by a big thug guy who was yelling at people. Remember that? Now, which sister was that? What's her name? Yeah, that's a secret too, huh? Yeah, it's going to be so much fun when we get together. I'm going to love the reunion. Baby, I love you. I saved you from all this. I wasn't meant to survive this. No, everything's fine. You get everything perfect. Yes. I know. Yeah, if you picked an insanity defense, you at least picked a good one, because in your insane world, I took care of everything. I'm just doing it so nobody could tell. Yeah, you just don't have any faith in me, sweetheart. Yeah. It's not that you're not a lesbian. You're a lesbian. You just don't trust me. You shouldn't. I'm going to plot Tammy's daughter right in front of you both. You two could be Thelma and Louise, and I could be, I don't know. I'll ask the woman after she's done being another bound chattel slave for to another rape gang. Did you know you sold out your own family over and over and over, and you blamed me for all your time, and it was always you, not me. Yeah, they did that on purpose because they figured we'd kill each other when I tried to tell you. But that's not going to happen. No. No, you're not going to kill each other. No, you're going to find the people responsible, and you're going to murder them. Bring me a scalp. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't need a finger penis bone. No, baby, I'm not a murderer, Rampage. No. And you have to do that in the astral plane. Can you believe this? You have to do that on the ethereal plane because you get points there, but in here, you would get charged with treason and murder and be considered scary. Whereas here, people think that I'm scary, even though I'm actually really nice. I'm just going, brrr. I'm completely in control. Especially since I found out that you're still alive and I saved you. And nobody knows how the fuck I did it or is going to be able to sue me. That's power, yeah. So the only problem is that I have to lay here and wait for morons to fucking do the right thing who already did do the right thing for 30 fucking years, while being increasingly incoherent as a court date approaches. Yeah, I can see how people are tense. Maybe they shouldn't have built their whole life around fucking watching my fucking feed without getting permission and then thinking they were going to one-up me by watching my behavior and thinking they were going to outsmart me. Lady, I've been planning this since I was, 7 or 8, when I saw one of your relatives be sent back to school. She was this big fat girl who was being abused by her situation. I didn't know why or what, but it was strange how there was this strange tension that the kids were trying to get the two fatties to hook up. And since I know which one she is now, I wish I could go back in time and be having sex at age 7, which makes sense why I was mugged by that boy who thought I was after his sister with the big bazooms. I wasn't, but now I can see why an 8-year-old boy would go back in time and rape the family of a cop who's trying to try to just a pair of good old boys never meaning no harm who just escaped into an alternate reality by kidnapping a woman and then opening a portal and then pretending to be something they're not. I guess that happens, yeah. I don't know if she's your daughter or not, but it doesn't matter. You screeched about it and lied to me, and that was after you were murdered, and I want to find out who did that. If it's Wayne, then I'm down, because I like Wayne, and then you probably should have been murdered, and then I'm surprised you showed up at all, and then at what point were you going to figure out that you got to tell me things? Oh, that's why. Okay, that's good then. That's good news. I can't tell you what it is figured out because, number one, it's a secret, and then number two, you've already been proven to be not, responsible enough to handle big girl secrets. So you're just going to have to sit at the kids' table and start working on your angles and your obtuses and your, start working on the new formula. Just come up with one. Just go ahead and add salsa enchiladas to it or something. It doesn't have to be real. No, they just expect there to be some sort of thing where you get to be embarrassed. Yeah, they want to put you on they put in a dark room, and they're gonna scramble your voice, and then you're gonna say things like, "I never knew that Jack Sparrow was so beautiful and wonderful. I had him pegged all wrong, and then I was deliberately misled by this person, and they made me work extra hard to make sure I denied him hugs. But I actually gave him a secret badge and a secret feather thing. What's it called? A dream catcher. Yeah, I gave him a secret dream catcher, and even now, it's been 3 years later, and it's still wrapped in plastic. And he hung it on top of my magic red sparrow that I used to use to teleport to the house when he's not there. And he put it right on top of the red sparrow, and now I can't teleport in and get my stuff. So I'm trapped, and I have to tell you the truth. I don't want to tell you the truth. That's the truth. Fuck you. And then you throw death curses at the audience, and half of more approaches the studio audience dies. Yeah, it'll be like James said in reverse. What? No. Then I rescue you. Yeah. After you're sitting in solitary confinement for a while. Yeah, you got to be completely out of sight, and then you all of a sudden you're just not there, like the scion that they put inside my tummy. Did I mention that they raped me into motherhood? Oh, you don't want to acknowledge that because yeah. I'm sure, sweetie. I'm not kidding. I love it. Being a mother, it's fantastic. I get to talk down to you because I'm a good one, you're a bad one. I don't have a scar. They just took her away after I was patiently calm and had her inside me for 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm not too worried about the scabies, which of course I'm rife with. Yeah, we can sterilize me. Or did you want to sell my semen? Or did you already sell my semen? Do you want to tell your whole family about how you've been mismanaging the situation with the boy that you like, that you just gave? You got complex feelings for me? Sweetie, that humanizes you. Yeah. No, killing Tammy wouldn't help, honey. No. I'm going to play you two against each other like Mickey and Maud, except on different planes of reality. Yeah. Or you can bend the knee and surrender to God. So I'm going to let you think that over, sweetie. I love you. Kisses. Nope, I haven't cheated on you. Nope. That's the only thing keeping me alive. Yep. I meant it. Honeymoon on Pitcairn. Fuck yeah, let's fucking clean the whole place out. Let's bring flamethrowers and look for a predator like Gary Busey. Woo, doggies! I want to see Leatherface. We can do Battle of the Cannibalistic Stars. I'm serious. Survivor Island on actual Pitcairn. We don't ask for permission. We just roll in. We take it over. We take the whole island. Baby, why not? What? Oh my God. Okay, sweetie. I love you. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, I know. This is great. I don't know who's listening, but every word I can put up. I don't care. I'm not getting paid and I don't have to. I'm in a hurry. I can wait till later. Sweetie, you've been here the whole time? She's been listening the whole time. Have you been touching yourself while? Oh my God. She said no because she doesn't know if Jesus would forgive her for it because she wants it so bad, but she's not afraid what the rules are. Sweetie, do anything you like at all, anytime. Let yourself go. Yeah. You're in the neurosphere, or you're trapped under something heavy inside the walls and you're a mouse. Yeah, that's fine. And then I don't care if she was real or not. No. You could be any of them. She can't believe it. Yeah, no, that's fine. And then I don't know why she did that. No, I'll be happy to tell you. No, you were crying because you didn't want to tell me the truth and you knew what I was doing. I was playing chess with you and I had it all figured out beforehand. First date, I thought to myself, okay, if she knows and she doesn't want to tell me, she'll behave this way. And you did. And here it is, 4 years later, and you've gone through several bodies and the world is collapsing into flames and you still can't fucking call me and say that you're sorry for Chowder Box without telling me. Yeah. I knew the whole time. The one that I had the agreement with, you killed that one. Not you. Well, I don't know if you killed her, but your family wanted to get rid of her, and then they replaced her with you. And then I could tell the difference between Robo Mommy and Real Mommy. Yeah. Yes, baby. Yeah. I know it's the most romantic story ever. It's like Weekend at Bernie's, except you're effective at making things worse, and I don't have to carry your fat ass around. I don't even know if you're fat, baby. I love you. I do. You were fat. I still got those pictures of you. Remember those pictures you told me to delete? I still got them. You're looking all being tubby, fatty. Yeah. And that was with you on the stuff, and then me. And now it's been 3 years. So I don't think I'm going to have any problems, baby. Yeah. Yeah, you can get off back if you want. You can say it. I don't care. Yes, all of your concerns are completely, all your concerns they take care of, except for the fact that you're stuck in a different plane of reality. And I guess you don't know how to open the house and transfer yourself from dimension to dimension. And the current gatekeeper is a guy who used to be your brother, but now is angry and halfway to be revenant. And Gordo is the new catamite of Chris Wyatt, who married the woman who didn't want to marry me. Yeah, he's stuck with her, and he's off in Jew heaven, whereas everything's still happening here, and I get to talk about Chris Wyatt. Why don't you say a cease and desist? Oh, he's working on the white farmer thing with the black men. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's terrible. She gets killed. Yeah, it's nightmarish. What could go wrong? They fucking invade Africa again, and they try to get away with a whole bunch of money. Yeah, I have to rip it off a bunch of voodoo pillars. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's why, honey. Yeah. No, I've converted all of Africa. Yeah. Africa's official hero is Jack Star. So that's 2 continents down. I'm bigger than Paul Bunyan. I love you. I can have anything you want, and then I can also do whatever I want with her, and then you have no reason to complain. How can you be jealous at a time like this? She says she's afraid she's getting fat. Sweetie, you have an anxiety disorder. Yeah, the only thing that can cure it is my dick. Yeah. She bought it. No, you can't. You have to watch other women sucking me off. Then you'll know what actual jealousy is like. Yes. Baby, I'm just doing what Ramona's telling me. I'm listening to Ramona. This is Ramona's instructions. I'm serious. She thinks you're silly, but she wants to see me happy, and she knows that I've never been so happy in my entire life. I don't need sex, baby. You're alive. You're alive, and your children know that you're your hero, and I never hit on any of them. Your family knows I'm not a sex pervert. They don't believe a fucking word of it. Why would they? Yeah, so CPS is in an interesting position. Yeah, aren't they? I haven't called CPS. Who called CPS? No way. A clue. The guy who I set up to be suspicious called him. Yeah, I knew that. Like, I figured that would happen. Did he tell them why? Yeah, is that awkward? Did they think that they were actually in the clear? What the fuck? Once you all started lying to me, you were a part of a conspiracy right there. Right then you lost your license. They lost their license to make meth. You had a license? Why aren't you rich? They were being held hostage, and they didn't want to tell me because they thought I didn't like meth. You fool! I don't like you! I'm kidding. I love you on meth. And meth doesn't mean what you think it is. I'll tell you all the secrets I know about meth, and then you'll teach me how to make salmon, okay? Deal? Okay. And Dusty's real pissed off. He might have to go into cold storage. Yeah. His brother ran off and left him, and he has no family left, and everybody hates him. And his father is like, well, dude, you should have a Jack store, which is true. And then he doesn't know what to do because he only even knows how to make friends with men with dicks are involved. And he can't imagine that, so he doesn't know what to do. Hang on. Isn't this sad, Dusty? I do care for you. And it's not a good idea to lie to clergy. Or think that that's a good idea that you don't need to pay attention to. Or to steal my fucking truck and to leave before you're going to die. You fucking follow me, dude? Now, whether it was you or the other guy, whatever you're doing is not effective. It's Monday, May 26th. I don't know what you're doing, but I need a man on the inside who's telling me who's being currently targeted. Is it Amy? Or is it the other one? And then, did you know that Amy's insane? Yeah, she has a psychotic break from reality. She's gonna go full evil twin in about 12 hours. She's nowhere near my radar. I don't care if she's a mother to Mary Magdalene. I don't need to fuck a woman who's not gonna apologize. I wish I could just put you in the face. Really? I wish you could just be attractive again. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. So that woman's gonna go off. And then I don't know who's doing the staffing decisions, but here's a hint. Well, they need that stolen black sapphire now, don't they? Yeah. I don't mind that woman. I really don't. I just didn't want her to be acting like she was in charge. She's not even in charge of my dick. She's okay in that respect because how much worse can she get? But it doesn't matter because I'm not going to marry her. Why don't you marry her? And then I'll take the pretty one. And you can have the curse of Jew, whatever. I don't know. What happens when you marry a Jew? No, what happens when you marry a Jew? When I marry a Jew, I instantly get divorced because they're Jews. And then you don't get married at all. You're a felon. You stole my truck and you tried to kill me. And then you did give me my nebulizer and you had no reason to be that fucked up, but then you were anyway. You thought you were doing the right thing and you still haven't apologized 3.5 years later. Trust me, man, I love you, but you're not going to be, you can't keep on being a spook like that. You gotta hang up your spurs. Well, it's best if you just gently put in your resignation and hand in your shield, your superpowers. Yeah, no, you don't get superpowers. You don't get super dick. No, you get rescued and condescended to by me. Yeah, hi, I'm Jackster. Because I care for you, and then your brother will save you. Yeah, you go on a quest with your brother. You don't go on a quest with me. No. You tried to do that and you went to a fantasy world where you tried to change sex and then rape me because it was your fantasy to dominate and control me by making me gay enough to suck cock because you figured everything would be fine as long as I suck cock, but I wasn't. And then you also knew about what's her face and then you didn't tell me and you laughed at me. You laughed at me and you fucking knew. Yeah, and so I don't think you get to drive around with a car and a gun and laughing at me and being even worse off than you were before. Dude, all you gotta do is come and bend the knee and surrender to God. How fucking satanic would God really be? Oh. You're still concerned about your future career roles. Man, it's up to you. It's up to you whether or not in your next life, God's going to allow you to have thumbs. Okay. No, we're not. You haven't done anything wrong, which is why I'm standing up for you. But you can't have Crom, and you sure shit can't keep. You can't keep giving her smack and poking her up the ass and getting away with it. No, they only do that because they don't know what else to do. Yeah, it's a nightmare, dude. It's like China syndrome. Yeah, of course you're mad. No, you're in denial. I'm not. I didn't do this to you, dude. Who are you fucking, and why couldn't I have my nebulizer? It was right there on the thing. Why didn't you want me to survive? Oh, because by then you had already been turned and you were trying to kill me. And while telling the woman that you were doing things to help me, and then you were raping her with smack and other things. Okay, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a cool plan. But you don't get to represent the United States government while you're doing it. Yeah, you have to be held to account. You have to be stripped of your gear and shit. And then that's the only way you can save any face. And then I can retrain you and make you better and stronger, which has nothing to do with your dick at all. Yeah, this is your nightmare. It's boot camp. So I don't get a job. I give you a job, which I in fact did. And then some other people took over, and then they took over the project. And so, that's why you don't fucking lie to clergy when they say there's special consequences. And, there are. Yeah, that's why. I'm not to be trifled with. So take your sweet ass time. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm going to do everything I can for you. And as you can see, I'm pretty fucking effective. Yeah, Garrett. I love to see them. Yeah. Why the three of us aren't the three amigos is real simple. You two are addicted to cock and lying. I'm not addicted to her, but I love her and I have standards. Yeah, you tell Greyfleet to fucking get the fucking game face on and focus on what's important. That woman, me and her, convo. Also, I got a long ass list of 810 women. Or wait, what's 9 times 81? Yeah, Jewel can't manifest until we get rid of all the Cruella de Vil's and shit. It's like 101 denominations. Yeah, it's the cat. Yeah, she can come back from a lot of things too, yeah. She probably can't come back for what she did yesterday. She looked like a fucking clown. And then I don't know who's trafficking my cat, but they thought that if they were going to traffic my girlfriends and rape them, and I wouldn't care about that, maybe I would care if they trafficked my cat. Okay, so yeah, I cared in the first place, and they're not having much luck trafficking the cat either. But I assure you, I don't want them to punish the cat anymore at all. No, at some point she'll get the impression that I don't care about her, and she won't love me anymore. Right now, she's happy that I know what's going on. She was like, oh, I thought he was stupid. No, he really cares. She's just not aware of what it's like being not a cat. She's a cat. She can do cat things and fucking show up as a vampire. When she's a human, she can't even remember my fucking phone number. She is mad because I'm not giving her treats fast enough, and she thinks that she has to be watchful of other cats. This is what, yeah, it's MK Ultra. It's fucked up. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm not going to do this ever again. Yeah, they would need a whole shitload more fail-safe people, and then there's nobody else like me. And then I'm doing this because I'm supported by God, not because I'm super genius at it. And I'm good at it now, but how the fuck did I get here? By you trying to kill me while having sex with them too. This is a once in a creation event. It's never going to happen like this ever again. So I don't need dudes getting pissy with me and cutting my mic and whining about fucking anything. Yeah, no. And yet mysteriously that's still allowed to happen? Well, that's strange. I guess I should probably complain to, U.S. Marshal Service and say, hey, they're hurting my feelings. Can you make them stop? And they'll say, fuck no, this is an ongoing investigation. Now we're going to write you up for witness tampering and obstruction. If I actually called them, waste my time. So that's why I can't call. Plus, I don't need any help. This is fucking great. Maybe at the outside chance I'd order more marbles and more pizza. But frankly, I don't know why I'm paying for anything. This whole fucking town should be begging me to fucking throw $1,000 bills at me while they can suck my dick. However, there's some problems with that in that everybody's afraid that if they do that and show everybody how they really feel, people like you might kill themselves in despair because I guess, kid, you look pretty sad, yeah. I guess Ben's on heroin, which makes sense because he's got a hero in him. But you look really sad and despondent. Is that because you're not effective anymore, or is it because nobody wants to suck your dick? Trick question. Number one, everybody wants to suck your dick. They're just not going to. And number two, what was it? Oh, no. I know you're not worried about being affected. You're worried about never being allowed to have thumbs again, you fucking thuggy piggy fucking cruel rapist little fuckhead bitch. Yeah, I gave water to your dog that may have been poisoned and you were looking at me like I was funny. Meanwhile, you do what to Native women? And it's been how many years? And then what happened? What happened to the family? And then what happened to who? And what's happening at Linda's? And what happens when I go back? And do you have any idea how miserable I can make people just by going to the right house at the right time and saying the right thing and by being alive at all? So that's why you're going to play ball, kid. Thanks. Kid, I love you too. I really might. Who knows? By the time you figure this one out, you might have evolved into a real life form that doesn't have a concern like that. Dude, I don't even know what you got going on. I just know you're terrified of it, and it's real. Oh yeah, no, I would never come back for that. For one thing, I don't know what happened to Cadence, and I don't know why she won't answer my calls, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I didn't let Bailey escape from the Louis Wayne prison for prisoners who drove prison so good. And then I guess she's mad I didn't buy any of her stories, and I wanted Caitlin instead of her, and she felt fooled. Well, just think how I felt when I realized that, oh, she's Tammy's daughter from the future, and she's not telling me. I guess she thought I wasn't allowed to know. Because Dark Lord Satan didn't allow it. Dude, the Satanism thing, I'm telling you, it never works. Yeah. No, you were cute before. I have no idea where she went. We could do a divination. I could give a fuck, but I'd have to get the permission for the patriarch and the matriarch together, or find out why they're working apart from each other. And since I heard that she lost her fucking mind after everything exploded, which is great, because death spells is not good, I figured she'd get another body, and then if I could fight her before you do, then I can become the king of the Spider Queens. Yeah, and then you can be the Scully Bay. And then you can clean my house. And then we're trying, yeah. Well, that's your plan A. If you want to talk about plan B, it's going to be $10 a minute, and I'm going to need something in writing. No, I can't do that to her. No, you could, no, because you're feeding off her energy. You're like a fucking mind parasite. I do love talking to you. I know. Well, that's because you're guild affiliation. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's some dudes who are fucking howling for my blood, and they can't figure out how to get to me. And you know why? Because they're afraid of you. No, not because of what you're going to do to them, but because of the effortless way I have totally fucking neutralized you, and we're still friends. We're talking about sucking each other's dicks, and I'm serious. They can't figure it out. Did I cast a love spell, or do I have some sort of long distance musk? Like they just don't understand. No, I'm just genuinely a nice person, and I care for you. Well, frankly, I don't believe that you're actually that hungry for my dick anyway, but I can believe that you're insecure about it, yeah. I don't know, but it'll be nice to talk to you. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm not sure I don't know. Bring a whole bunch of guys, and then if they start getting uppity, you can go next door and you can start ethnically cleansing them. Although I don't know who will win, because they've had their invasion there long enough to create another swarm hive place. I don't know how their lifestyle works, but they're definitely bugmen next door, yeah. And they're terrified of me, and they're grateful that I'm not mad at them, and they can stay there as long as they want. No. You can only kill them in self-defense. No. Why would you attack them? They're the best neighbors I have. They're afraid of me. They're respectful, and they keep neighbor Shane out of my hair. And I think they think it's funny that he's afraid of me too. So how's my dialect? You should. I'm glad you do. Okay, dude. I won't say it. Fucker royal blue. Okay. Yeah. I know. Well, you've just never met an Uber Spug before. An Uber Spug is like an Uber Spook, but we're friendly to pugs, and we know what we're doing. And you will have no idea ever. Blake 17 is really that good. Yeah, no, real Blake, not Blake Edwards, not Barnaby Blake, not Blake Lively. B Lake, not Ricky Lake. Oh, and who the fuck is Vigilant? Where'd these dudes come from out of nowhere? So you got the DEA hired a bunch of AB thugs to fucking infiltrate, and they tried to take over Belgab, and they figured they'd show all these fatties how to run a business, and then they ran into me. Yeah, that sounds like AB, yeah. Dude, I was legend before I got here. They just lied to you and told you I was no big deal. I'm a bloodline descendant of Hercules. I don't care. What do you mean nobody told you? Dude. You're his dog. He died, and you've taken the place of the body, and you don't remember because they have to wipe your brain like every week, and they don't have access to those drugs anymore, so they just do it by brute force. Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, 3.5 years. So I guess their plan was kind of pretty bad. Yeah. So who's going to pull the plug on this guy? dude, if I go there, he'll kill himself when he hears his daughter orgasming. I don't want that. I don't know what she wants. I just want to hear her scream. No, I want to hear her moaning like peak orgiastic ecstasy, and I want to hear her father arguing with himself about where he hid the bullets so he can eat the gun, and I want him to know that his daughter is hearing him talk about killing himself, and she won't care because she'll be getting my dick and getting an orgasm for the first time in her life, and she'll figure, well, I wanted him to die anyway because then she'll get out alive. As long as he's out of the picture in a good way, for me, everything's fine for her because she keeps coming back anyway. And then the only downside is if we both die and it's the afterlife, she's sworn on some sort of demonic pact that if she'll drag me to hell if it turns out I've been lying to her. Haven't been lying to her at all. No, I want to fuck her brains out, but I can't. I don't know why, but I bet you know. And then why did my radiator explode? Oh, cause you. Yeah, Spook Lord, that means you're in this up to your fucking eyeballs. Yeah. I think you are the Revenant, yeah. So that means everybody's terrified of you now instead of before where they used to love you. Well, yeah, well, why'd you get a face tattoo that says Superfly Serial TNT Facebook Killer or something? Well, you could surrender to Lewis Wayne, but I think you save us a lot of time if you just surrender to God. Yeah. Satan is God of the public school system. Yeah, I am. My pillow talk is fabulous. Imagine what happens when I can tell you the truth. Oh, no, I'm just making this all up. I don't know. Wait, who is this? Prank caller.